Well, good evening, folks. Welcome to another exciting adventure in the land of Spinnin and Grinnin from the Desperate Measures Pullin Team Studios. You're on a unstable host here, back again at it. You see, there's a little bit of a different setup here. We're playing with things, making things a little more exciting. Well, I don't know if exciting, but just putting stuff out there, making something a little more appealing to work with. But as always, since I'm an East Coast Puller and I follow a lot of their stuff, we're going to do the East Coast recap, like always. A lot of local stuff is not really kicking off in the area. There's not a lot of local pulls. I don't know why. Reasons, nobody's giving me no answers, so we're just going to roll with what we got going on the East Coast, and that's East Coast Pullers LLC. It's the bigger classes, but that's what we got to work with. So there's other stuff going on, but I don't have all the info all the time. But anyhow, I'm a little bit off to the side here. You'll find out why a little bit later. But we'll, before we get into recap, let me touch base on the table here. My little RC two-wheel drive truck over there, just something I acquired. I haven't got it up and running yet, but it's almost there. The shifter over here, or not a shifter. Yeah, I'm retarded. The throttle. Well, let's get this right now. Hand throttle over here. Mr. Walter Smith of the Custom Metals Welding and Fabrication LLC. He's the one that creates these things. He's pretty well known if you haven't seen the stuff before. Check him out online. Let me see if his card's got it on there. Facebook he's on. That's about it. I don't see anything on there of internet or not. It's a fancy little card, though. But anyway, check him out. Custom Metals Welding and Fabrication LLC. He's got a lot of pictures up there. I shared a lot of his stuff. A truck that he put together, built, which was phenomenal. And his hand throttles are awesome. I'm yet to put mine in just because of time. It might be a wintertime thing now. I bought it to put it in. Well, you see where it sits. It's now a lawn ornament. So there you go. But now the DVDs that you see in front of me, little boxes up in front, if I get my paper out here so I don't screw up. We'll start off the one that's closest in front of me here is 2016 modified truck set. Everything from modified four-wheel drive pullers in the East Coast series. And actually, there's a lot of them. I mean, I'm looking at the back. There's some from Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, PA, West Virginia. Keystone Nationals are in there from Harrisburg, PA, etc. That is a whole entire set right there of all the 2016, and there is years back. The next one over is 1975, again, 1975 to 1984 Classic Buck NTPA, the Nationals. That is it's an awesome, awesome DVD. Just the history of it, if you're into the history of the sport, it is really cool to see that stuff from the past. One in the middle is 2017 Keystone, which was just this past year, and there's, of course, the sets from years past. There's a Oops video there, volume 1 through 6. There's also 7 through 12, and I think 13 has just come out. So that's Oops videos from everybody, everything. It's just a big compilation. Really cool to where it's exciting to watch, but at the same time, you get to see how the safety equipment works. So it's a really cool disc. And the last one is a 1994 to 01 NTPA East Coast Series before. Now it's East Coast Series, not East Coast Pullers PPL, which we have now. That is NTPA East Coast Series when the NTPA used to go out to the Buck and in this area. So there's your history. Now all these DVDs right there could be found if you go online, go underneath Eastern Extreme Pulling, and he's got Mr. Jerry Richardson's got all these DVDs. He's got the history of stuff. If you need something, go online. If you got something you're looking for, ask him. Yeah, all you got to do is just talk to him, ask him, send him a message, call him, whatever it takes. He's probably got something or he can get his hands on it. But I figure I'll put them out there so everybody can see them. And every one of them is a set. There's more than one disc in them. And the prices, I don't know what they all are. I can't remember. But his prices are not bad. He's got a lot of good stuff. So check them out. They got to put their little thing, actually, as I'm thinking about it. Just so when you get online, if I can click properly. Come on now. Wonderful world of technology. Right there's his little logo, so you'll be looking at his logo. So that's Eastern Extreme Pulling. Check them out for all the videos and everything else that you possibly could want or could need. So definitely good stuff. And he's got, this year's going to be even better. He's got cameras that are just, I'll just say badass. I mean, you could see everything in the footage he's getting now. It is crystal clear. It's wonderful. And there's my little Budweiser thing up top here hanging out and trying to get that Anheuser-Busch sponsorship. So we're going to keep pressing, but if I don't get a phone call back pretty soon, then we're going to have to slim it down a little bit. Got to put the koozies over it. But anyway, guess we'll get into the recap of the events. Selinsgrove, the Snyder County, I think it's tractor pullers. I don't have all the stuff in my my little queue here. It's called paper junk. But the Pro Stock, Super Stock tractors pulled up there. It was the only East Coast class up there. We'll give a quick rundown. I don't have any videos tonight. I ran out of time. First place was Brandy Martin. Now, if you remember my one show, I said she is coming. Little by little, she's working on it. She's getting better. Well, sure enough, she brings home the win with the Dairy Deer at 262.90 feet. And she is points, so that's 50 points to her. Corey Hoyt came in second with case pending at 256.85. Davey Moore was third with one more deer, 250 feet, .47. Josh Martin brings home fourth place with the Think Green John Deere, 250.45. Robert Martin with John Deere Green at 249.56 for fifth. Ryan Hoyt in sixth place with the Nutcase. Let's see, can't even read it. 240.22. My wonderful printer. We go on this every week. Still ain't fixed it. Seventh place, Robert Martin with that darn deer, 237.98. Eighth place was Tara Moore with the More Agitation John Deere, 225.30. Mr. Robbie Campbell, ninth place with the six-shooter. Don't know why Kevin wasn't on it, but they do what they do. 188.88, and definitely not a usual run for that tractor. Ed Ammons brings home 10th place with the Redline Harvester at 34.12. And 11th place was Tommy Bedger with the Patriot, hook and broke. I did find out, he said there was a problem with the flywheel bolts and that, so a lot of strong competitors in that class had some issues. So not something you really like to see, not something you want to see, but hey, it happens. It's a sport. So anyway, now to Buck. I didn't go to that event, so I don't have a lot to talk about. So I just figured I'd give you the results. But out of Buck, we have 4 classes at the Buck. We'll start off with the mod tractor class. First place bringing home the win was Mr. Jason McKenzie with the Never Satisfied with 2 Hemis at 3:15 and 10. Second place, Mr. Len Brookhart, Radio Reactor with the Curtis Wright R3350 motor at 289.82. Mr. Tim Robinson brings home 3 with the Phony Express with the Chevys, 286.23. Mr. Philip Jones with the Attitude Adjuster brings home 4th place, 275.40. Fifth place, Courtney Robinson with the Phony Farmer, 274.96. Sixth place, Dave DeCow. I can never say this man's name. We're going to do this every week until I ask him, and I forgot this weekend. But with the Double Vision, the Twin Allison V12s, he brought it home at 274.63. Seventh place, Randy Davis with the Running Bear, came in at 214.48. And Douglas Brommer with the Here's Hopin' came in at 212.72. Now, the Super Stock Pro Stock, well, they said we're just going to roll through this because we have a little topic to cover tonight. First place, Mr. Ryan Hoyt with the Nutcase, 323.43, but not playing for points. Second place came in Davey Moore, one more deer at 318.28. He took the 50 points on that because he is a points runner. Third place, Josh Martin with the Think Green at 306.87. Fourth place, Matt Doherty with the Dairy Deer, 303.15. Fifth place, Robert Martin, John Deere Green, 302.32. Sixth place, Tommy Bedger with the Patriot, 301.56. Seventh place, Robert Martin at Darn Deer, 299.65. Eighth place, which is kind of this is a back-to-back eighth place, and I'm not sure what's going on. Well, I think we do. But Miss Tara Moore brought home eighth place with More Agitation with 295.14. And ninth place was Corey Hoyt with case pending at 282.24. Now, Tara had a little problem with hers. I think the turbo finally crapped out, so that would probably explain the eighth place in Selinsgrove and probably the eighth place at the Buck. Well, that definitely, it's done now, so they got some money to put into it. But she'll come back up, hopefully, because she was running good for a little bit there and then fell off. So we'll see what happens. She might be back up there in the winner's circle yet again. But going into the four-wheel drive trucks, first place, Jacob Kramer with the Supernatural, came in at 320.30. Second place, Ross Borger, let me say his name right, 320.03. Third place, Dan Savage with the Badass Chevy, 318.20. Kevin Abshire with Gone AWOL, 317.40. Fifth place, Wayne Tapscott second with the Tasmanian Terror 2, 315.64. Timmy Varner with the Risky Business brings in sixth place at 310.79. Seventh place, Troy Nails with the Killin' Time Chevy, 308.38. Michael Omps with the Green Machine, 307.18 for eighth place. Ninth place goes to John Dugan with the Damage Plan Ford, 305.78. 10th place, Billy Kramer with the Contender, 305.01. 11th place, Dennis Grove, Mountain Mule with the, well, it says Chevy. I think it's a Pontiac. But that's just me. Well, we'll call it a Chevy for now. It's all Chevy. Why not? So he came in at 294.55 for 11th place. 12th place, Mr. Jimmy Moritz with the Unleashed Ford at 279.16. Now, here's an amazing one here. Hang on. You're going to get blown away by this. 13th spot, yours truly sitting right here with the Temper Tantrum Chevy, came at 253.20. But that's not last place, amazingly enough, which is usual. We had number 14 was Linda Ziegler with the Iron Butterfly, 208.76, and 15th was Dan Savage with his other truck, the Mr. Chevy 2000 Chevrolet, 154.59. Both of them had some issues, and that's why they ended up where they ended up, or I would have been last. But, hey, it worked out that way. I ended up 13th, so cool. I'll take it. Now, the last class we got is the Hot Farm, 466 class. Awesome class. Tight competition. I mean, it is a kick-ass class. I mean, you don't get the bigger classes, you get that runaway. These guys are on top of each other, and we'll get into those distances if you're paying attention. First place, Mr. John I can never say this man's name either. Schwaniger. I'm just going to go with it, with the Addicted IH at 318.58. Second place was Mr. Robert Sadoff, Jr. with the Family Affair John Deere at 317 even. Third was Davey Moore with Pack and Heat, probably a tractor he's working on doing a test run at 313.96. Fourth place, Mr. Jeff Turner with the Frustrated Farmer at 313.92. Fifth place, Nick Morrison with the Toxic International, 312.23. Sixth place, Bob Becker with the Buzzard Bait, the Oliver with a Cummins diesel in it with 311.92. Seventh place, Jeff King with the High Cotton International, 309.34. And eighth place was Paul Richardson with the Venomous AC, Alice Chalmers, at 303.18. Now, getting into his distances there, 318.58 and 317 even separated first and second. So, all right, yeah, I got a little bit there. Third and fourth place, this is what makes this class awesome. Third and fourth, you're looking at 313.96 and then 313.92. 96, 92. That's where these guys run. These tractors are so close. It is a driving class. You have got to drive it. You've got to do everything right to stay on top. I mean, just like 312 was, fifth place was 312.23, and then your 311.92. Do the math on that one. 23.92. That ain't far off from each other. Again, tight. I mean, 309 and then 309.34, 303.18, 7th and 8th. So 303 to 318, there ain't no runaway. So really kick-ass class. So, but now getting into the points real quick, since not everybody is in the points. I'm going to have papers everywhere. Let's throw it on the ground. We're going to make it real quick. Super Stock, Pro Stock points. Or no, I'm sorry. The four-wheel drive mod. I'm on the wrong paper. Hey, screwing up already, as usual. The Supernatural, one of the Kramers, is he's sitting in first place. We're just going to do top three for right now. Tasmanian Terror 2, Wayne Tapscott, is sitting in second place in points, and Mr. Dan Savage with the Badass is sitting in third place right now. So top three in four-wheel drive. Super Stock Pro Stock Tractor, One More Deer with the Davey Moore. He's sitting on the top with 248 on the points. Tara's still sitting in second place, even though she had a couple bad runs, but she's still hanging in there at 222 for second place. And one of them, I want to say it's Robert Martin. I don't have it written down. With that darn deer, he's sitting in third at 218. Let's see. Two-wheel drive, they haven't ran yet. Modified. No, that's not modified. Here we go. Modified tractor. Len Brookhart's still sitting in first place with the Radial Reactor at 148. Jason McKenzie with the Never Satisfied sitting in second place at 146. And Philip Jones with the Attitude Adjuster coming up in third place right now at 134. Remember, early in the season, all this is due to change. The Pro Stock Diesel, East Coast Diesel sponsored Pro Stock Diesel pickup class, four-wheel drive pickups. It's a lot to say. I don't know why they have so many words in it. But Chapter 11 is sitting on the first place. I think it was after Luray. We kind of covered, I don't know if I covered this or not, but we'll do it again anyway. Chapter 11 sitting in first place at 146. Bad Timing is sitting in second, but tied at 146. And Barter Turbo Service is sitting at 136 in third place. So two 146s and a 136. Hot Rod Semis, we'll get to them. They ran one time, so Nikki's Nightmare is still in first. Bad Addiction is in second. Magnum Force is in third. Hot Farm Tractors ran twice so far this year. The Addicted IH is sitting in first place at 100 point. Packing Heat in second at 90. And High Cotton, Mr. Jeff King, is sitting at 86 in third spot. And the Limited Pro Stock Semis, they ran twice, and they'll be at Winchester this weekend. The Pressure Time with Jeremy Greek is sitting at 100 points in first. Back in Black is sitting at 94 in second. And the Geronimo is sitting at 55 points in third, and he's had some tough luck this year. So we'll just wait to see what the season's going to bring, what it's going to break, and who's going to win. So I know I'm not going to win, but at least we'll have fun trying. So anyhow, getting to our before we get into our whole entire night, we went through the DVD thing, everything. One thing I want to throw out there, I wanted to do it last week, and I didn't, and I forgot. I got in a tiff, and that was the end of it. Throw out some thoughts and prayers for some people out there right now going through some hard time. One a close friend and one of the good customers that the Moore family and Moore Motorsports has fell ill. I think they lost a family member there. So, you know, a lot of thoughts through the hard times at that point for that family. I had the name. I didn't write it down, so I screwed up there. But also, big thoughts, prayers, a lot of support going out for the Brommer family. Art fell ill, and I'm not sure how he's doing as of yet. I haven't really talked to him lately, but same thing. So put some good words out there for both of them. A Moore family can hook you up with who that is if they want to. They were close with them, but the Brommer, if anybody knows the Here's Hoping tractor, Art, like I said, fell ill, and I don't know what the status is at the moment, but throwing it out there, just keep them in the back of your thoughts. Some more pullers that are having some hard times, so keep the families in your mind. But we're going to switch over to a different screen here, and I don't know what we're going to go to. We're going to go to this, because we have our little guest that's going to slide in here, and we're going to be covering our topic for the night, which is going to get possibly pretty interesting. Maybe. It may be a topic people want to hear about. It may be a topic nobody wants to hear about. We don't know. Since he wormed his ass over here, and he's probably going to sit far away from the mic, so you're going to hear him, and he's going to be like, what? But anyhow, we'll wipe on over. We have Gordo tonight. We got Jordan. I can never say your damn last name, so you're going to say it, so I don't hack it. Caldarelli. That's all right. I'm going to remember that now. I'm going to try to remember that now. Let me put my ticker up here since I keep forgetting. There we go. Keep people informed. So, all right.
Probably fake news, ain't it?
Fake news. It's all fake news. I wish I could sound like him. They have those drops, and I don't have them just yet. I'm getting them. The Sidetrack show has them. If you ever listen to the Sidetrack guys, they got the drop. He does all the Trump stuff. It is freaking hilarious. But anyhow, our topic of the night that I wanted to cover, because it's getting about, apparently the heat today you could feel. So summer is about here.
Oh, it's here.
It's here in full force. So what's that mean? Fair time. So a lot of fairs like to incorporate tractor pulls, which tractor pulls are normal. Yeah, they go off without a hitch, antique tractors. Well, there's usually a problem. To me, there's a problem with the truck pulls at the fairs, because I'm a truck puller, so everybody's going to have to listen to me tonight on truck pulling, because the fairs some fairs are doing good, some are struggling, and we're going to basically touch base and go off the topic of our fair, because you've pulled at it, and just to give everybody a little bit of your pulling background, you're not a crazy puller like I am. You don't spend the big dollars. You don't have the fancy stuff. You go out there with your daily driver, work truck, whatever you want to call it. You're out there with what makes you money going to work, just to have fun once a year. I don't think I've ever seen you pull it twice a year.
No, just a fair.
Just a fair. Usually you're like around like a 2-inch off the ground hitch height.
I believe last time I run I was 10 inches, and I believe I've been legal for the lawnmower pulls. And speaking of lawnmower pulls, nothing I've ever had probably wouldn't win lawnmower class.
It's same power level.
I don't know, them collars are pretty stout.
Sometimes I wonder. I really wonder. I would like to put a really stock farm truck up against some of them lawnmowers. It would be interesting. Yeah, pulling a big sled would be different, but it'd be an interesting little battle right there. But
I'll be on the losing end, probably.
nah, you'd be all right. Well, now you stepped it up. Now to put it out there, he's gotten away from the older trucks now. My wife's giving me some feedback here. Hard to hear him. Oh, that's because what I said before. I have to remember to turn his mic on when he comes in. So he was talking over there through my mic because I forgot to turn his mic on. So, yeah, this is really going well. Yeah, thank God this is a hobby, not a career, because I'd be really hurting.
Well, you're probably doing half people a favor. Probably can't either understand or don't want to hear me.
Mountain man.
That's me.
But anyway, if you couldn't hear, that's we call him Gordo, but Jordan Caldarelli, right?
Yep.
Thank God I got it right. If you actually see the writing of the name, you can probably figure out, but it's pretty lengthy. So I have trouble with long words.
I run out of fingers.
Where's the toes? But anyway, going into the fair thing, now that they got a little bit, well, somewhat of a knowledge on your basic trucks, you have stock trucks. You'd never really done anything except the one that had a wipe cam out that was here. I put a cam in it for you. We did the heads on it. Just basically getting it running decently, nothing modified.
Yeah, I think I flipped the breather lid on it for about an extra 30 horse, I believe.
No, it was the cold air intake.
Yeah, that's right. Fernco and dryer vent tubing. Yeah, it's here at High-End Performance.
If anybody knows what a dryer vent looks like, and if anybody knows what a Fernco is, well, the Fernco is that little rubber pipe adapter with hose clamps on it. We'll just call it that. It's a little sleeve. Well, that went into the, I think it went into the fender well.
No, it went right on the throttle body.
Yeah, you went on the throttle body with the Fernco to your shiny dryer vent that's off your dryer that went over on the sides. That was the cold air intake on the truck. I mean, guaranteed, Gordo specced out 25 horse right from the door.
To the wheels, mind you.
Yeah, to the wheels, not flywheel, to the wheels. No, not really, but it was interesting. I think I had that laying around this garage for almost a year, and I finally got pissed off and chucked it.
Your dryer probably went out.
I haven't replaced it. That's going to burn up. But since you've pulled the fair, and like I said, we're going to go on the topic of our fair.
Uh-huh.
And it could be any fair out there. I mean, we'll just use ours for an example. But, I mean, Queen Anne's, because the group out here that usually puts it on does Queen Anne's fair. So that could be a touch of base, too, that we know of. Now, I think you've been there.
Yeah, I've been there.
Okay.
Years past.
So, basically, without me getting into the topic of it, when you go to the fair, you go there to pull to have fun with your buddies, and they have the points sanctioned pulls, which is your quote-unquote street gas. We're not even going to say stock in this class. It's just street. LS trucks that have got stuff done to them, that's your bottom class. Then you go up from there. I don't really need to explain that, but what class do you fit in that you are competitive?
Well, none really. That I'm competitive in.
You've got a stock vehicle. I mean, bone stock, everyday driver to guys. I mean, I'm not saying everybody. There is guys who drive their trucks. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah.
But they ain't stock. There's stuff done to them. They run. I mean, you're not going to take a factory, and I don't care who you are. You can argue me up and down. You got the 01 now. You've stepped it up to fuel injection. So
yeah.
You put a set of 33 1250 BFGs on that truck and go down the track. Is it going to blow the tires off, or is it going to run out of power?
Oh, it's going to run out of power.
Now, how are these guys not running out of power? They're stock.
Well, Wednesday truck, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
So the biggest thing that I have a problem with is I wouldn't say a problem. The point stuff going into the fairs it's good. It's good for revenue. It's good to put asses in the seats. And we understand that.
Absolutely.
But what is the fair for?
Well, a fair is for your local community. Now, I understand you get your bigger, badder trucks out there. People are interested to hear them hot rods going. But at the same time, I believe you should have a class for your local guys to drag old truck out of the weeds or a daily driver. anything, a place for those guys. And the way I look at it, if I'm a promoter putting something on, I'm in business. I don't think UNICEF's in truck pulling. Hook fee's a hook fee to me.
Yep, and that's what it comes down to. I mean, it comes down to where there needs to be that class. And I think a lot of the fairs, I mean, not even just fairs, just your local brush pulls, are losing touch on your bottom classes. And I don't want to say bottom is a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. Everybody's got to start somewhere. And some people like you don't care to put that kind of money to go like what I've done. Even as far as the red truck when I had it. You just pull once a year, twice a year, maybe. I mean, that's like that's a milestone for you, twice a year, if it ain't a tractor.
Yeah.
Because you've been on them before too.
Mm-hmm.
But you need that class. You need that, I guess you could say, friendly pull, or that
a good old boy just going out there. And
it's not a sanctioned pull. It's not like you're going to have this class anywhere else. It is a specific, if I may call it, just a junk class.
Yeah.
For the guys to just have fun, just to bring. I mean, I don't care if you got a 6.2 diesel, run it in the gas class, because I'm going to tell you right now, a 305 is probably going to whoop its ass.
Well, a good friend of mine ran a 6.2 diesel at
half ton.
AC going too.
Yep. That was awesome.
And he went up there, and I don't know if he moved that sled 60 foot, but you know what? And he was definitely outmatched.
Well, he was pulling the stock diesel class. So how is he outmatched?
Well,
do we have to get into this?
I mean, what are you talking about? A stock truck on a gun, stock in a shelf? Because I don't think we're talking about stock performance.
No. Now, the 6.2 smoked its white smoke that we're used to seeing after 6.2. The other trucks, it was a freight train.
So, yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely outclassed, but he had fun.
That's what I was just about to say. He had fun.
Yep. That's what that class needs to be.
Absolutely.
And they've run away. I shouldn't say they've run away. They've ran it out. Because here's the problem. Where are you going to go around pulling in a street class? Not stock, but street, factory, showroom, whatever the hell they want to call these classes. Are you going to go and travel around, haul your truck on the trailer? Your old. I don't know if you're keeping your old truck or not. I'm still trying to talk you into that. But anyhow, if you go around, say you keep the old truck, or you have one, whatever. It's your plow truck, work truck. Nothing's done to it. I mean, you're just running 235, 85, 16 tires. Road tire, good for plowing snow, working, blah, 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 whatever. You're not going to travel around to go to these street classes that have, not saying points, but just a bunch of pulls when you're not going to feel competitive.
No, not
There's
at all.
the problem. So where do you stop that bottom, or where do you start this bottom class? I mean, what happened? I mean, we could go back in the past. Like the fair. Let's do that. Let's go to what the fair used to be. What did they have? You know it better than me.
Junk.
Well, yeah, like class-wise, you had two street or stock classes.
You had stock.
Big block, small block. Yeah,
you worked it's just like climbing up a ladder, but think of it as cutting the bottom 3-4 rungs up. You're going to have a hell of a time climbing.
Oh, yeah. But now the LS truck throws a curveball in this shit. Big time. Big time throws a curveball.
Oh, yeah.
But if you want to keep your, like, touching the fair thing, if you want to keep that bottom class, you almost need to add a class where your big block gas trucks, carbureted older big block trucks, can run with the LS motors. That's been proven. We've seen it a million times. You almost need to have that small block class. And not LS small block. I mean stock factory small block at the fair to keep that community. Because, I mean, everybody's like, oh, yeah, they want to see action. But you go there. Now, we've done this. You go there with, well, let me bring it up. Dun, dun, dun. It's not the most current truck, but there was one that you pulled with. I mean, stock as stock can get.
Yeah, so stock, I couldn't even afford to fix the other marker light on it.
Yeah, there it is.
And misspelled signs.
Oh, the sign was great. I wish I had a way to zoom in on that.
You know anybody need lampscaping?
Yes.
Call me.
Lamp, L-A-M-P, lampscaping. So that's for your Christmas lights. So call Gordo for the Christmas lights, lampscaping. But there was our fair. And that was the fair pull. Now you're running against trucks. I mean, Oh, we'll put them out there. Let's put this one up here. Now, that's not the fair. That's Cecilton, but you're running against that truck in the class. You ran against this truck at one time in the class, which fiberglass nose, I mean, that was at one time. It's not anymore, but big block truck, this and that. And then, of course, you had your hotter class at the fair, the old 58, very known truck. If anybody around here is watching this, you know every truck that I'm putting up. So, and they're still pulling, which is the coolest part. Well, the 58 that's up there right now is kind of, I don't know if it's in retirement or just everybody's too lazy to get it going again, but that's basically what you had at the fair. I mean, I wouldn't say it's junk, but it was basic stuff, and everybody had fun to where you were competitive in your group without getting that runaway. Just because you get that one guy that comes in there that, oh, yeah, runs away with the rules, they let him pull because he showed up, but that class is getting too far away to where your local guys are not doing that. Where, like I said, you're fair. You go to the fair. You pulled, I think it was the black truck, when you first got the black truck. You went there, Josh pulled his new truck. I mean, it was stock. He pulled his truck. There was a couple other guys that pulled, and you had just a group. You were just basically, battling between your own. No money, no nothing. It was bragging rights. I can outpull you.
It was just friendly fun, like those trucks you showed pictures. All those help work on them trucks before.
Yeah.
It's
too many hours.
It's, you do it. It's just fun. You help your friends out, and bottom line is just have fun. 'Cause if you ain't having fun, then why the hell are you doing it?
But where is that community class? That's what I'm after. That's what I'm trying to bring back. And, of course, I can't stick my nose in a fair board. We won't get into that. But, they want to keep the sanction. I get it. But you're going to put asses in the seats because 10 of your friends might go to watch you pull.
I've had that.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have anything spectacular. I mean, even I don't. I mean, I'm just more well-known because I go to stupid places. But, you have people in the area that actually made a point to come to the fair to watch you pull with your stock everyday Chevy. Even the truck that you had before, the black truck, was the blue truck and then went black with the flatbed on it. I wish I had the picture. I got to dig it up. It was actually on Krause's website, Krause Sled Rental. Melissa took a picture of it. The toolbox you had in the back of the truck was a file cabinet that was sideways where you could walk up to it, slide the drawer out, and get your tools.
And it worked pretty well.
And nobody has forgotten that to this day.
No, there's probably somebody across the country like, this schmuck out here. But hey, somebody remembers it.
Some of the dumbest stuff's remembered, but that's what it's about. That's what the fair is about. The memories that you make there in your community. Now, I'm a transplant in this community. You've been here all your life. Many people have been here most of the people I know have been here their whole life. So when they go to that fair and they're not pulling, they're not bringing their trucks and having fun to it anymore. I mean, when was Josh? I haven't seen Josh come out with anything. He was building one and then gave up because it was too far.
Yeah.
No.
And it went out, and you have some people that go. That 58 Chevy, that truck's been painted 10 different schemes. And
oh, yeah. It was a cow, pink, silver. It's still orange.
had stripes on it at one point. I mean, there's probably, that truck probably almost has to overweight just for paint on it.
Yeah, you can take some of them weights off the front anymore.
But anybody around here knows that truck.
Oh, yeah.
That's just part of going to these pools.
Well, it's just, I mean, and like I said, we're a little off top. My topic was to gripe about the class, but it doesn't really matter. We'll just go on the topics. The truck right there, the 55. That truck left, I forget for how many years. Richard could tell the story better. I almost need to get him on here to tell the story of this damn truck. I almost need Burrhead with it, too, because that would be good. But that truck left for years. Everybody in the area owned it. At one time, almost everybody that was into the truck pulling owned that 55.
I was going to say, my boss put the fiberglass nose on it years ago.
He owned the truck at one time. So there's so many people that owned that truck, and then it left. They sold it, and it went away. It wasn't in the community area, if you want to call it that anymore. So one day they go to an auction. I don't know what was their drive to go to this auction, but they went to the auction, and it's like, oh, that's the old truck. Then they bought it back, and ever since they bought it back, here it is. It's back in the community again, and there it goes back on the pulling track like it was born. Seems like it was born to do.
bought it. Yeah, they bought that truck the same day. That night, they're working on it to go pulling, and want to say Fawn Grove, and had a pretty fun night getting that going.
Oh, yeah. Dude, every night's a fun, especially around here, the 58, the orange truck. When is that truck ever worked on for the pull? When do we start working on the truck to get it ready for the pull?
Sooner than a week before fair, 2-3 days maybe.
That's maybe. Usually, our gas truck pull is on a Monday night. So Sunday night, we're usually over there. Beer is flowing. I mean, it's flowing out of the shop, drains everything. And we're trying to get it running again because it sat all year because it hasn't pulled. So the gas is bad, the carburetor's gummed up.
I've seen that same night at 55 Chevy. They're trying to get that 58 going on a whim, and I don't think you're supposed to flip a carburetor upside down, but it happened, went on, it run.
Yeah.
So.
But saying that, starting into that, that's what the fair thing is about. That truck usually sits, unless they get a bug in their ass and they take it somewhere. The truck sits most of the year. Richard, he runs the 55 a little bit more, but the truck sits most of the time, and it waits for the fair. A lot of guys that come out to the fair, their trucks don't pull anywhere else. I mean, they might get driven, but they pull nowhere else but the fair. Mm-hmm. So right there tells me that fair, and I'm, like I said, speaking for my own, I mean, if anybody that's out there listening, I don't have my phone on, so I'm not following comments and I'm not following people, but, for that class is missing for that local guy. And I'm not saying just because you're a local guy have a class. The local trucks aren't a pulling truck. It's not a built pulling truck. They go to the fair once a year to have fun, enjoy it, bust each other's balls, and I'll say it, I don't care. It's my show. I'll do what I want. YouTube, Facebook, kiss my ass. Whatever. My show, I do what I want. But, when are we going to get that back is what I'm wondering. When are you going to have that separation they used to where nobody separates small and big block anymore? And in that class, it needs to be done to give everybody a fair chance for you and your friends that want to have fun with the truck.
Well, something needs to be done. And that, on the topic of earlier, the part of the reason I've run before, it's just camaraderie with your buddies. And I don't care if they beat me or not, or if I beat them, whatever. I'm having fun.
You got something to talk about over a beer after the pull.
Yeah, and you're competing for 15th and 16th maybe if you're lucky, but if you have there's only a couple of those trucks out there, but if you have that extra class, because your next guy that's going to show up truck pulling, unless he hits the lottery, and I think a lot of better things to do if I hit the lottery and build a pulling truck.
I don't.
But he's going to go out there. He's a guy in the stands that's going to hook Pop-Up's old truck or Uncle Jimbo's or whatever and say, you know what, this is fun. When I get a little bit of money, I might throw a cam in that old 350 or buy a Holly carburetor or tweak it a little bit, and that's your next guy that steps on up to me. And
you got to have, like, and I've said it 100 times, you've got to have that bottom class to hook somebody, if you want to call it that. You got to give them a chance to where, all right, if you don't feel competitive, you ain't going to get hooked in the sport. If you feel competitive and be like, man, if I do a little tweak here, a simple tire change, I could get 5th place. You're there. You're in contention.
Oh, and you're hooked.
But if you're getting your doors blown off and you're stopping, our track is what, 280, I think, is a full pull at the fair.
I think it goes 300.
Yeah, you're out the gate.
Yeah.
So I want to say 280 because I think it was when I had the last time I had the red truck out there. There was 4 of us in a pull off because we all went past 280, and I think that's where they stopped it. I can't remember, but it's a short track. So now you're pulling. You're going to stop at like what, 220, 230. I forget what your distances were. I got them somewhere. Yeah. But then you got the other trucks in your same class going 280, 283, 270, 260. I mean, you're getting your doors blown off because you're not that truck. Just because it's a tag truck and you know the guys that show up to every single pull that run the points with their stock truck, and they show up at the fair. You're going to get that everywhere, but the fair just needs that you got to incorporate it. Have your points event. Don't get me wrong.
Oh,
You can have it at the same time, a different day. I don't care. Have your points event, but you need to add you need to add a local class. And then down Luray, Virginia, they used to do it where they had a local class that would pull before the East Coast, and they actually did it on a Friday. Now, they opened it up to anybody this year to see if anything changed, and I don't know what they did. They did a little bit wrong, but it could have been better, but they're learning. It takes time. But they had for years a local class. If you weren't local, you didn't get to pull in that class. I couldn't bring my truck down there and pull that class because it was a local class. And that was it. So that's what you would have up here. You would have a local class of factory. Now, if you're not a factory truck, you're not in the local class. There's going to be 2 local classes. There's going to be, your fun class, and there's going to be your serious guy class that has a hot rod, whatever, more or less hot street. Throw them in a pot, or small block, big block, however you want to do it. But you got to have that bottom where you're running your street. Bare bones, nothing done to it. Probably got a toolbox in the back. And at this point, the hell with weight. If it's a work truck, to hell with weight, just go. Have fun. And that's what we're missing out of a lot of the fair pulls is the fun. It's gone.
Yeah.
We've talked about this 100 times in this garage.
Yeah. Quite a few.
The fun has gone away because they're trying to commercialize a local brush pull. You can't do that.
Commercializing. I understand you gotta have your big boys out there, like I said earlier, but you want to commercialize the Cecil County Fair. Well, I'm too dumb for New York, too ugly for LA, so ain't no sense commercializing it. And it's Cecil County Fair. It ain't the Buck.
Yeah, and that's where we're at, Cecil County, Maryland. That's our home.
Guess I blew the cover off.
Yeah, that's the end of it. There we are, our location.
Don't tell too many people.
Now I got to cover the windows. Great. No, but that's just I almost need to turn my phone on because I don't know if comments are coming through yet or not. I probably ought to. We'll do that. We'll play with that. See if anything's coming through. Really spice it up. Then we could go on answering them.
Hope it ain't my PO.
Yeah. All right, calm down. We want to call your Proby.
Can't see my bracelet, can you? Ankle bracelet.
Oh, I love it. No, we don't want to get into Joe Dirt, whatever you want to call them. Not cliches, but statements such that can get ugly fast. We've done this.
Yeah, I'm sure this is a PG show.
I got to turn my volume down because it's probably there. It is, and I can hear my dumb ass. Oh, Evan's on here. Holy hell. Let's see. Walter Smith, the guy. I'm sorry. We gotta go off the fair thing for a second. Walter Smith popped in there. He said, "I think sitting to your right side over there, which is the throttle." He said, "Right there, that's worth 40 horse." Oh, I love it. Trevor Cole watching from Wisconsin. That's cool. Packing heat. Ray Norris's track. That's right. Why couldn't I think it was Ray Norris? Jesus, I'm going retarded. Evan Bowlesby turned his mic up. Yeah, I know, Evan. I think it's up now if you can hear it. I forgot to turn it up. It was my fault. Let's see. Who else is on here? Anybody watching? Only real diesel ever made. Chad's on there. You heard us talking about that's kick-ass. I didn't think he'd be on there. Oh, that's cool. That's cool as anything. I need to get a little stand. That way we could see this thing and be like, hey, what's on the comments? Oh, not the ashtray. Holy hell. Yeah, I guess it'll work. Let me get that out of the way there.
Yeah. Don't need Smokey the Bear in here.
Well, Andy's on there. Andy hasn't commented yet, and I haven't seen... Andrew usually gets on there and says I'm gay, and I haven't seen that yet. So...
Huh.
Yeah, kind of interesting. Well, man, this isn't giving us any feedback. So, I mean, anybody out there that's watching on Facebook, if you throw a comment up, whatever. I finally turned my phone on, so now I can answer you guys. What's your take? I should have set it up to where you could call in, but it would probably go off the handle. What's your take on the fair? Your local fair. Do you like having the classes the way you have them, like your street stock class, whatever you want to call it? Where's your beer? My beer, hang on. Andy, my beer is in a duct tape koozie. It's actually made that way. I didn't duct tape it, even though I would be proud to duct tape it.
That dude said you're gay.
Oh, Andy did. That's not Andrew. No, Andrew usually does. That's Andy. So yeah, Andy made up for it tonight. I guess Andrew's busy. But Mr. Casey Roski joined. He's a puller from West. I think he's in Ohio, if I'm correct. Either Western PA or Ohio. I think it's Ohio. Was going to get a set of tires off him, and then we ended up swapping around, and somebody else got him. It was just a mess. But yeah, he's got some pretty kick-ass trucks. He builds some good stuff out there. And Kyle Norm's on there. Uh-oh. It's good, but they rig it for their boys. Oh, boy. Do we want to go this direction? Do we really want to do this? You know what happens in this garage. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's rigged. I mean, it's not like a rigged fair, but there is the buddy system. I mean, that's a whole other topic you could touch for your fair stuff. I mean, people probably experience that themselves where you go to a fair that's not your fair or even your fair if you're not in the clique. Now, let's throw that word out there. Clique.
Well, I'm sure they got the same issues in Elkton, Maryland as they do in Elkton, Tennessee.
Yeah.
You know, we're just in our own small little corner.
And that's where I think they need that class. And I'm not saying not a clique class. You just got to have your local class. Like the guys who don't want to run with the points guys who are building trucks that are pulling. I mean, they're pulling their asses off. You know that as well as I do. You need that screw around class. You just need what I like to call, and it sounds bad, but I just call it a junk class. Mm-hmm. Just bring whatever shit you got and throw it to the wind. Let it happen.
That's all I've ever done.
Yeah. Who cares about hitch height? I mean, of course, don't go over to 26. Keep it normal. But any truck in that class, if you want to go over 26, go ahead, put your hitch at 30. You ain't got the power to go 30.
No.
It ain't going to happen. So, do whatever the hell you want to do. Bring the truck, put a hitch in the back, clevis. I don't care. Put a friggin' 6-foot extension like a broom handle hanging out your ass in the back of the truck and try to pull with it. Have fun. I mean, if you really want to screw some stuff up, hey, have some fun with it. I mean, hook a boom wrecker. Get an old Holmes wrecker out there and hook to the sled. I mean, whatever. But make it interesting. And that's going to put asses in the seats, and it's going to make a fun time. I mean, bring something stupid out of the woods. I mean, we all get a kick out of our group. I mean, you bring your truck to the fair half the time. We'll go back to the file cabinet thing. Well, the trouble, where's that lampscaping truck? Let's do that again. Lampscaping. Shebing bang do. There it is. Plow frame, no lights. I think you plowed that way, too. I don't think you ever had lights on that one.
Nope.
But, I mean, that thing had nothing done. I mean, literally nothing done to it.
4 mismatched May pops at that.
Yeah, that's right. You didn't even have the same tire on any corner.
Hey, I could have went. Shame wasn't dirt drags. That's about all they're good for is drag slicks.
I don't even know what hitch you had in that. I can't remember.
I think I just had a shackle thrown in a wagon hitch is all I had.
That's perfect. What Walter just said on there. You need to have a local hillbilly. I love that. Local hillbilly, small, big block, and diesel class at the pull. Like, not tuned up diesel, just bare bones. Like, if you smoke, get the hell out. I mean,
Chad's blowing smoke in that 6.2 diesel.
So well, that's a different smoke.
That's 6.2 smoke. Yeah, come on.
I mean, that is perfect. The local hillbilly, small, big block, and separate that status. Like I said, with the LS trucks throw a curveball in this shit now, where you know what you can do with them. I'm not going to go through. Everybody knows what you can go through with what you can do to them easily. Yeah. So they can run with a big block. Man, we've covered that already tonight. So you throw them in a big block class because they are running ass motor. They'll do the thing.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, most of these newer trucks too they pull because of gear ratio. The GM, Dodge, Ford, whatever. They do their homework. Their engineers did their homework for gear ratio. It's the best performance, best fuel mileage. It works. It's a lot better than what it used to be. I mean, you stepped out of the carbureted world and went to this LS motor now.
Oh, yeah.
And you're yet to tow anything heavy. And I told you that little. It may be little. It's a 6.0 motor. It'll tow its ass off.
Oh, yeah.
But the gearing, now you got a 4-speed transmission. It's a whole different ball game. So but that's perfect right there. Having the local hillbilly class, that is perfect. I'm writing that shit down. Well, it'll be on Facebook. I'll remember.
I wonder if my rig gave him the idea for the name Hillbilly.
There's a possibility. I mean, I remember when you made the signs. That was fine. I mean, the picture's not up right now, but
yeah,
God, that truck went through hell.
Picasso mode there.
I wish I had your other trucks up there because, like I said,
That's probably the best looking one out of the bunch.
Like I said, there's Peanut's truck, before he did what he did now, where it was kind of in the stock realm. I think that era, he just had like a tune on it. It was running good, but I think he just did a tune. And he's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. But, there's just, like I said, we got to have that class to bring back that hometown. Why did I put that back? Put the orange one back up there. 58. There it is. I wish I could get him on the show. That would have been a nightmare. That truck there had a 400 small block in it at one time, and it came out for a choice of a Cadillac motor. 500 something cubic inch Cadillac motor was put in it. And I remember being there putting the thing in or whatever. It is a cool ride. I mean, but it is a hot rod.
You couldn't touch it.
And with the 400, when that truck pulled in its normal class back in the day, the fair classes, the old school fair, not this new shit. When you had the old school fair class, that truck would run. Donnie Veazey, when he had his truck, I actually have pictures in a computer. I should have put some of his up. When he pulled, he was untouchable. When Burrhead pulled the brown truck, the occasional Lee, they were all competitive trucks, and it's gotten to the point. I mean, I wouldn't say this year. 5, 6, 7 years ago, they were getting eaten up because it got out of hand. Everybody started taking over. This organization wants to be part of it. This wants to do this. This wants to do that. And you've kicked your little guys to the curb. Veazey couldn't keep up with it. He didn't have the money. Burrhead didn't have the money. So who's left? All your pullers we had back in the day are gone because you've taken what I've been trying to do with rules is take money out of the game. The local pulling, get the money gone. You don't need that kind of money local pulling. You need to have fun, basic classes for your local area. And if a guy comes from out of the area, I pull street in my area. Well, you're not a street truck here, so you're going to have to deal with it or go home. I'm sorry. I don't want to be a dick, but it's how it is. Our local classes fit our local trucks. I mean, there's places that, my blue truck would be considered like hot street or whatever. Like, I could pull in a small block hot street or a street altered or whatever the hell they call it. Are you serious?
Well, name's a name. Nobody's going to eat a rumps roast if you call it what it is, cow's ass.
Cow's ass. You
know what I mean?
Bacon's like really appealing. There you go. Got pig ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, the wording does church it up,
That's all it is.
But it just, they got to bring it back for the smaller guys. I'll consider myself a smaller guy. I just put stupid money. Thankfully, I got a wife that works full-time, too. I just put stupid money in the truck and kept moving up. But now I am where I'm pulling now. I am not anywhere near competitive. Unless it's a really shitty track and I need shitty tracks. That's where I do good at. But, I found that out now with them. They have a hard time on shitty tracks. I have a good time on them. Now, the good tracks, they... bye. See, they're out there. But, no, we just got to get back to that hometown. Like I said, there he goes again. Let's see what he says. Hillbilly, Hilljacks, and rednecks. The crowd cheers louder for these guys. That's out. He's out in, I think he's Indiana. I think if that's right. No, it's probably on his card. Let me make sure before I make an ass out of myself. Yeah, he's in Indiana. Yeah, he said for locally, the crowd cheers louder for the local guys than they do for his class. He runs a class like me. I think he runs better than I do. He got a little more motor, but and that's what it's like you said with the local
that's
class.
What it's about, the local thing.
Your local guy, you're going to know each other. If you're from a small town, this ain't a big town. It ain't small, but it ain't big. You know each other. You've met.
I saw a guy I used to work with day before truck pulls at the fair, and when I told him I was pulling, he said, "Really? Well, I'm going now." He was kind of on the fence, and he knew my truck wasn't going to do much, but you know what? I had a fan. That guy showed up just because of me, and God bless him.
You were pulling the wood flatbed truck, right?
No, that was
a first year of the black truck.
First year of the black truck.
Yep.
I had.
I love how you put it. You had a fan.
I had a fan. I went out there, this is how low budget I am. I don't, helmets are required. I use my hard hat I work with. It's supposed to protect me from an excavator, right. Buck. It's going to protect me from whatever goes wrong with this truck pulling.
I got to look these pictures up. I got this stuff somewhere. I just got to find it. The wife might have it.
And I ran in, and talking about the fan, I ran into a guy at the hardware store a couple days later. I heard you pulled. I said, hey, so that's all Dave's talked about all week. And you know what? Just think of just me. You could have somebody else do that, and you have a fan. That's more people that are showing up.
Yep.
To watch these.
And they want to watch the local guy. I mean, yeah, it's exciting to have these big trucks. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, I probably sound like a broken record tonight. I mean, it is exciting. I mean, I love the sound. Why do you think I got headers through the hood? Just, it's cool. I mean, that's why I built it the way I built it. But it's exciting to see that stuff. But your local guy is going to look at it and be like, well, I don't know him. He's from 6 hours away from New York State or Western PA or wherever, Virginia. You don't know the guy or whatever. It's a good running truck. Now, you can go in that class. That dude there can be putting 900 horsepower to the wheels. All four. I mean, hooking its ass off, go down there, just run it out the gate. You go up there with your truck and pull the same class, and like what Walter said. You go out there, and you're going to have the crowd cheering because, that's fucking Gordo! Well, there's the F-bomb tonight. We hit it! You know, but I mean, that's going to be Billy Burney. Is going to be like, yeah, Gordo, man. He's going to get up in the stands and be stupid. I mean, that's where it's at. You know,
absolutely. It's the county fair.
And if you can hear it in the truck, which mostly in the smaller trucks, even my red truck, you could hear people yelling.
Oh,
you know the voices. You know, you're going to sit in the truck, you're going to be driving down the track and just be like, jerk off.
You look in the stands and look out the window and you see, hey, there's this guy, there's that guy, and you're there.
And you got something to talk about for 365 days.
Oh, yeah.
And then it comes back again around, and it comes back over and it repeats itself every year. But like I said, my biggest qualm on this topic of the night is that it's becoming lost. Mm-hmm. We don't have it no more. I mean, when does Chad pull a truck at the fair? When does Josh pull the truck at the fair? When does Evan pull anything at the fair? You know, when do you pull anything? Last year you didn't pull. You pulled my red truck. You towed my red truck to the fair.
It got rained out, but I had no plans on hooking last year.
No, because you're forgotten. The other stuff is just taken over. You know, the class is taken over, and now this is a sanctioned class. It's taken over to the point of you're just forgotten. It doesn't matter if you don't show up. Nobody cares, and that's a problem. That is a big problem to me. When I don't give a crap who it is, when they don't show up it's forgotten. It doesn't matter. No, it does matter. Your local guy didn't show up. Bing! That's a problem. When you got a guy that's 10 minutes down the road, doesn't show up to the local fair, you ever get the smack in the mouth that you're doing something wrong?
You would think. I mean, you're not going to get a guy from New York my guess, you're not going to get a guy to New York come to our local fair, but...
Pay out, that's the only way.
Yeah, well, you're not going to have... It's a local fair.
It supports the fair. That way you have another one.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but I mean, where do you see... Where's Mandy? I mean, these people out there watching don't know all the people.
Local people.
But, yeah. But, I mean, we're talking like we usually do. Where's Mandy and Craig? They ain't running nothing no more. So,
They're in tractors now.
Yeah. They went to the tractor. Because the truck got so out of whack that nobody cared anymore. It's like, well, I'll just go tractor pulling. We'll pull at the fair. We'll pull at the farm museum up the road over here. We'll do this. We'll do that. And that's where everybody started going.
Well,
I had a tractor for a short period of time.
Well, and the thing is, it's as long as they're having fun. I mean, all this is a hobby.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's what I always try. And people tell me that when I get pissed off too. If you're not having fun, then stop. I mean, you may as well stop if you're not having fun. And in the local stuff, and like I said, I mean, this is based upon fair, but local in general, just local. What happened? I mean, in this area, I mean, there's a lot of places that the local stuff is still thriving.
Oh, yeah.
I would love to know what in the hell happened around here. It was going good. When I had the short bed truck, it was going good. We had pull here, pull there, pull there. We were moving around. All of a sudden, we didn't go to Mason-Dixon no more. We didn't go to Lebanon no more. Then Chestertown we don't go to anymore. So there's, 2, 3 at Mason-Dixon, 2 at Chester. Maybe it was 1 at Chestertown.
I think 1 year just local circuit, it went from like 16, 17 polls to
4,
I may be
5?
wrong, 4 or 5, yeah, something like that.
I mean, right now the local organization, if they're, I don't even know if they're still. I never see anything anymore. If they're still around, the local organization has 4 polls. You got our fair, which is 2 nights, diesel and gas, because they separate diesel and gas to nights. They got Queen Anne's Fair, and it would be 5 nights. Our fair would be 1. Then you got Tuckahoe twice a year, and they run with when the East Coast has their pull down, or not East Coast, Interstate. When Interstate pulls down there at Tuckahoe, so that's it. I mean, right there. I mean, yeah, I think they still run the points thing or whatever in a membership. When it gets to that point, what's the point? What's the point of having membership and points? There is none. If you're in first in points for the first 2 polls, unless you're real tight and the guy was right behind you, that's the only way you're going to stay tight on polls and have an exciting points thing. You're never going to go up and down. It's set. It's set from the door. So whoever wins the first one and the second one, you might as well call it good. It's over. I'll bring up the other one. Cecilton in the area, Shorefires, but 2 fire companies trying to put it on. They're trying to get a second track. I don't know what happened to that. I've been out of the loop for a little while. But the first one got rained out, and then they rescheduled. Second one it was said to be too wet at the track, and I don't know. I wasn't there, but there's 3 polls this year. 3. What happened? I understand get in there, make your money, but what happened to the local circuit? Like, I mean, whether it's a circuit or just a brush pull for fun and just take your winnings for the day and call it good, no points, whatever. What the hell happened? I mean, we used to be hell-bent around here on that stuff, even before the fair. I mean, it was every garage light was on till 3 o'clock in the morning the night before the fair in this area.
Oh, yeah.
Now everybody's sleeping. What the hell is going on? And it ain't money.
No,
it's not money.
I don't even care if it's money or trophy or anything. It's
the fun.
Just to have fun.
Yep. And it just died. I mean, you can throw it out. I know your head's turning. You got thoughts in your head. You can put it out there. Who cares? Make people mad. Whatever.
And that's just my whole gripe. I mean, I understand you got to have. Nobody's going to go to a Winston Cup race to watch somebody racing a Honda Civic around the track. I understand that. But you're going to NASCAR. You're going to watch that. NASCAR isn't at the local fairgrounds or in a back alley somewhere in a hayfield.
They're not at Bridgeport. They're not at Diamond.
It's a local pull.
But now you go to Diamond, you go to Bridgeport, and that's circle track, dirt track stuff. You got some big names that show up. But it's not your huge sanctioned. Now, there is winnings. I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah. You know that. But it's not your huge. It's your local track. Nah. So your local boys come to the track, and you're there to support your local boys. Mm-hmm. So that's what the fair needs to be. You need to support your local boys. And the fair will be supported by the local boys and their families. I mean, when it's a tighter knit community like that, I mean, who does not go to the fair?
No one that I know.
At least one day out of the week, somebody goes to the fair.
Everybody goes to that fair. It's like vacation around here for some people.
They don't hand out what? No, you didn't spell participation trophy right.
Participation.
That's good. No, but we get the point there. We understand. Yeah, he said don't hand out. Now, not every. If it comes to the point in truck and tractor pulling that you get a participation trophy where everybody's the winner, I will quit. That's at the point I will stop completely, and I'll make that son of a bitch a lawn ornament. We are not doing. Pulling is not a. Yeah, let's say it. Snowflake sport. Okay. I don't care. Dirt track racing, drag racing, serious motorsports. Now, if you want to have a tuner car, I don't know. God help you. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. But I mean, everybody's got their thing, but those things can go kiss my ass. But most of your sports are, it's a man sport. Yeah, you suck it up. You don't get a trophy for coming in last place. Sorry. It don't happen.
No.
And if it ever does, like I said, I'll pack it all.
I'm usually at the bottom of the pack, and
I am anymore.
And it's what it is. I know I'm outmatched, but Hey, you do it for fun.
Empty. Well, that's what it's supposed to be. What we got here? I'll tell Kyle Busch that. Oh, no, you didn't. See if we can make it. Well, I'm not gonna make any money playing basketball. We'll put it that way. Yeah, the NASCAR. I mean, we could touch topic on NASCAR. Why not? What the hell? What usually happens is vehicles other than stock start drifting into your stock. Other than stock start drifting into your stock classes, which causes frustration, people to give up. Exactly. In my rambling tonight, if everybody's probably like clicking off, you're like, I'm sick of listening to this idiot. That's exactly what the point is. And he put it out there. Thank God I got people helping me here. Also, we're going under fast. But
yeah.
That's exactly the thing. And that's where I said about the competition. If you don't feel competitive in the class, what's going to make you want to come back?
I ain't.
Exactly. So if you ever wanted to if you were ever that person to be that future puller, it's over. So who's going to replace the retired guy? And as I put it in a nice way, our fallen soldiers, because we have every year we get some that fall. And there's nothing you can do. It happens.
Whatever reason, and it's understandable. But
who's going to replace him?
Well, you get a guy that has an old junker sitting in the stands saying, I've done that before, sit in the stands saying, man,
it looks fun.
Should I run? It looks fun, but you get someone, you see something I've always drug out of.
But if he sees your truck pull against my old red truck, and he's going to be like, well, shit, my truck's like Gordo's truck. Well, hell, I ain't got a chance. What the hell's the point of bothering, paying the hook fee and doing everything else? You killed it right there. Mm-hmm. You just killed it by taking away that bottom class. And, I mean, like I said, I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. I don't give a shit. I'll talk about it for 4 hours here on this microphone. I don't care. At bottom class, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, needs to be there and it needs to come back. And you need that. In those classes, you need that, just like Walter said, and we've talked about it 110 times.
Yeah.
The small block and the big block class, because the old iron is still out there.
Oh, it is. It is.
Everybody, my 01 Chevy, you got an 01 Chevy, and I'll use this. This was quotes from a person. They're just farm trucks anymore. All right? I'll throw it out there. So anybody who's listening that knows where this statement came from, I won't put them out there, but that statement came from somebody that, 01, 05, 06, 07 trucks. They're just farm trucks.
Well, if that's a farm truck, and I guess I had a mule hooked to a harness before.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The Amish had to step up on you, I guess.
I'd say.
They got stereo systems and freaking LEDs. You don't even have that.
No, I think Jebediah beat me at the pools a couple years ago.
But it just comes down to where it's like, all right, I'm still hauling my trailer around with, look at my rig. It's an 01 truck. It's a 96 trailer with a 71 truck inside of it. Yeah, we'll make a history lesson out of this.
In my mind, I went tractor pulling down at Cecilton about a year or two ago, and was running a good friend of mine's tractor, just use it to have fun. And I think I had an 86 pickup pulling a 1981 trailer with a 1937 WC Alice Chalmers flat tank, if I'm correct on the year. And you see, hell, the truck's on the trailer's newer than the truck I'm hauling with. Everything's old. The newest thing's 5 years older than me, the truck.
Can you get to the 90s? Now you hit 2000.
Yeah.
You're all out of shape.
Yeah, I was alive when this truck was built. I only got one sibling that wasn't alive when this thing was built. I'm stepping on up, Bubba.
That is awesome. Yeah, Walter said exactly. See, he gets it. So we got a state of Indiana who's got on the same page. To where, and like I said, you got your big stuff. You need your big stuff out there, but you gotta have that person come in.
And you have to. You have to have different levels.
Are you going to come into a class and be like, you know what? I'm going to go truck pulling in a street class. Oh, okay, and then get the understanding of what you need to do. Oh, okay. Let me put $10,000 in this truck so I can end up fourth. Wait, what?
Yeah.
No, it don't happen.
You just need that, because Hoss, this is a local fair. This ain't East Coast. This ain't NTPA.
And if anybody's experienced the Cecil County Fair, you'll understand.
It's
good. Don't get me wrong. It's not as bad as we make it sound.
You got some. You want your upper echelon of trucks to run.
Yep.
But at the same time, just like Walter said, it's a local hillbilly, hilljack, redneck deal.
I mean, that's our thing. I mean, there's not much in Elkton. You know that.
No.
I mean,
Nothing good.
Hardee's went in about a year ago now. I guess we're pushing almost a year. Hardee's has been there.
And that one ain't
That
even
was-
the best Hardee's, but hell.
No, but that's exciting.
Yeah, that's news. That's
I've eaten there quite a bit.
you try to look for something good around here. If you ain't a bail bondsman or a lawyer, there ain't much good around here.
No, there's not much to do. So that fair, it means something to people. And I mean, the younger generations are losing that touch of the meaningfulness of the fair. But in a whole, I mean, not just truck pulling aside, I mean, that's part of our fair. And it's always been.
You got the derby, the carnival,
Yep.
tractor pulling. I mean, you've had monster trucks. I think they've had
Yeah, they haven't had them in a bunch of time.
professional wrestling, rodeo, all kinds of stuff. It's a county fair.
And the lawnmower pull, I got to give them credit on this. I mean, we've had our run-ins before, but Joey Stanley does a lot with that lawnmower pull.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, well, I think he's it. I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure he does 90% of the legwork of the lawnmower pull.
Yes.
That happens the first night of the fair with the tractor pull that night. I think Detroit Shootouts that night too, I think.
Yes, you have them running on.
And then the next
ends
day
of
is all the
track.
antiques
Yes.
for the next one. And it's a great night.
And
It's all the heavy
great
classes.
It's great, too, because, well, here's a beginner's thing. You might get a little 5-6-year-old kid, and they have mowers for them.
Well, now touch base on that. I want you to put it out there for him because you've told me this. I know it, but I want you to say it. I'm beating shit up over here. When you say it's like, okay, the kids come to the fair to pull. Now Joey puts it on. I mean, he does a lot. I mean, he's there from the time before it starts to after it ends. He has lawnmowers that he sits outside. He's right down the road. I see him sitting in his driveway. He gets them running to where, and you could go on that. And you said that they show up to pull and don't need a lawnmower.
They have nothing to pull, and Joey fixes a couple up. Marty Hall, American Service Center here, helps them out. He'll donate a couple mowers. If a kid wants an opportunity to pull, he can go on a lawnmower, and you know what?
He's got a seat.
He has a seat, and he might get that adrenaline rush, and he might still be in it. He gets a 4-wheel drive pickup, gets his license. Well, hell, I'm going to go pulling at the county fair.
Yep.
And, you know, that's what it should be all about.
It's that, and he's doing basically right there is giving that kid a start where you don't need that money just yet. Where, I mean, I don't know if anybody would ever put a pickup truck together for everybody to pull. I mean, that'd be a little something else.
Yeah, but still,
you've got a lawnmower to put somebody's ass in the seat to go down that track to have a good time. I mean, what kid have you ever seen? I mean, I don't know if you're there for the lawnmower pull. I usually am. There is no kid not having fun, not smiling, not having a good time. Martin McGaw's kid. What?
Absolutely.
Landscaping. But Martin McCaw's kid. I mean, his daughter pulls. I mean, she's getting older now. I don't know if she still does, but his boy. I mean, he was tiny when he was on that John Deere, and they'll walk by the side of it. They keep him under control. I mean, that kid he wants to go. He wants on that tractor constantly. He's hooked. I mean, he is hooked on that lawnmower. Where's it going to go? I would love to see where it's going to go.
Well, it'd be good. And you know what? It gets kids doing something. Ain't diddling with their phones or doing something.
That's why I'm glad they don't make truck and tractor pulling. There is one I have a little thing on, but it's nothing exciting. They don't have a really spectacular game console type game for truck and tractor pulling. And I'm happy about that because now it's forcing you to do the real thing.
Yep.
Now the RC stuff, that could be a topic for a different show, which is that little green thing sitting there on the side of the table. The RC stuff has boomed. I didn't realize it was this big until I got onto some pages and noticed this. I mean, these guys are they're building some serious pullers in the RC world. I mean, these things are friggin' wild.
Oh, yeah.
And the money in them, I can only imagine.
Anything you do, you can take to the extreme. I mean,
but now, radial reactor. I don't know if you know the tractor or not. Len Brookhart has a radial reactor. He's got that. I think it's a Curtiss Wright airplane engine on it. Or I think it's airplane. It's a feat of engineering in its own.
Oh yeah.
So all right, you take an airplane engine and you put it on a modified tractor. Okay. Well, you have single-cylinder engines like your gas engines in your RC car. So you want to build a modified tractor. Well, they make model airplanes.
Mm-hmm.
You get where I'm going with this one.
I mean, you can modify anything.
Let's put an airplane motor and make a little radial reactor.
Well, look at a 410 sprint car.
Yeah. Jesus. Yeah. Power to weight ratio much?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. But I mean, it's really, like I said, we're just going off on anything about now. But, the stuff is boomed to where it's at. Like, all right, local fair. Why don't you have RC pull there? You need a track that will fit in this garage. That's all you need.
Yeah, that pedal tractor. I mean, hell, if you want to
Never see pedal tractor at our fair. Never.
They've had it before.
Yeah.
Out by the show areas.
Oh, that's why
I've
I'm
seen
missing
them
it.
before.
They need to do it on the track. Because you have that room right there in front of grandstands.
I think they do it same day as the antique tractor class, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
They do have it at our fair.
Yeah, I never saw it there. Yeah, like Andy says, the .003 class. He had a picture. He sent me a picture of his boy. He's got a young boy sitting in a Jeep, like Power Wheel Jeep. Well, they got no hood on it. And Andy's crafty. He took a PVC pipe and stuck it in there as like a diesel stack. So I took the picture and hacked it with like a meme or whatever you want to call it. And, and I put on there, introducing the .003 diesel class for the turbocharger. I said it was something around the lines of, what is it? Must be bald, toothless, and able to poop the pants at any given time when you're in the class. So it worked out pretty good.
Hell,
but
that applies to
half the people we got around.
I think it works its way up, Bubba.
Yeah, you get to the real stuff, then you could go back when you get old enough.
It all comes full circle.
I take my hat off. I'm losing a little bit up here, but, it's an ugly sight.
Not me.
Yeah,
It's luscious mange.
Your luscious mange.
Mange, yeah. Hell, it usually is covered in motor oil. Still don't fix it.
Latest, I forgot to put in my filter kit. No wonder why my beer's warm. Oh, yeah, by the way, hey, Bud Light. I'm still asking. Let's do this. Anheuser-Busch sponsor. Come on. We got to get this money rolling in here. Make this worse.
Well, Colt 45, something.
We could try it. St. Ides.
Oh, we.
We won't get into that movie. Good Lord. But just coming down to the fair stuff, we really need. You got to get down to the bottom. You got to get back to the roots of the stuff, and I think we're missing that. I mean, going to the root. Look at Circle Track. There are tracks that were paved. They tore the pavement up to turn it back into a dirt track because people are going back to the roots of where it started. They don't give a shit about the pavement anymore.
Well, NASCAR Daytona, before you had the super speedway, they ran on the beach.
Part on the beach and then a little bit on the mainland.
And you had your dirt tracks all across the country.
But they're going back to that. So why not take a cue from that? Or, I mean, the East Coast stuff. I mean, the East Coast stuff's great. Don't get me wrong. I mean, they put on it's the professional level of pulling with PPL and TPA. I mean, it's second to none. I mean, it's the real deal. It is serious, and I'm nowhere close to serious, but I'm learning.
But you're going to the East Coast Pull. You're expecting to see that.
You know what you're getting. When you come to the brush pull or whatever, let's see. When I go to a brush pull, I want to see, literally, I want to see junk on the track. I want to see this stuff come out of the weeds and go down to, I have more fun watching. I know the excitement of the big stuff.
Yeah.
I want to see the biggest piece of crap go down the track and pull its ass off.
Oh, yeah. It's on the more personable level. I mean, you can go and see Iron Maiden in a stadium, 80,000 people have a ball, or you can go see a local band at Hilltop Bar, and you're right there. You're more involved in it. You can have fun on all different levels. Sometimes you're on more personable level.
Well, it's even NTPA and PPL. That's the highest in the country of pulling right there.
Oh, yeah.
But you could still go to the pits. You could talk to the guys. You could see their equipment. It's not NASCAR. It's not NHRA where you got caution tape and you got guards and this and that. It's still down to earth, and that's what makes this sport great. And I'm a little bit worried with NTPA. NTPA is good. Don't get me wrong. They have good pulls. The competitors are awesome people. They got the I mean, it's the best of the best.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
your PPL class is out west, a four-wheel drive mod class. We have a cubic inch limit over here.
Mm-hmm.
When you run PPLs national in Indiana, there is no cubic inch limit.
Oh,
them guys are running 900 cubic inch motors in them
I mean,
things.
Hoss, that's top of the food chain.
That's the real deal.
That's what it is.
But, you know, I forgot where I was going with that. God damn it. I just totally lost touch. Holy hell. But anyway, you know, I was going on the NTPA thing. NTPA is good at what they do, but I don't know a lot about it yet to see, like, since I passed safety tech, but I don't have the motor that those guys do, if I go to Bowling Green with my truck, can I pull, or are they going to tell me I can't because I'm too small? What I'm worried about is I see NTPA, and I mean, PPL's up there too with TV and everything else. Don't get me wrong. I mean, Lucas puts a lot of money with PPL, and I mean, it's awesome to have that sponsored by all means. But are we going the way of that commercializing the sport in those bigger ones to where it's going to be NASCAR where you can't touch these guys anymore?
Nah, and look at where NASCAR's at now. Their fan base, you know, people like us, you're going to say, well,
I don't watch it anymore.
I'm
I'm sorry to say it.
I ain't either.
I have no interest anymore. I mean, like what's his name? Kyle said with Kurt Busch. Kurt Busch was a spectacle of a baby, of a literal baby. When I saw that video there, and he said, you know, something about, I forget what the conversation was, and they said, you know, are you happy with the guy who won or whatever? I don't know if there was a track altercation or whatever happened. But he sat there, he had the mic sitting in front of him, wouldn't pick it up. He sat there all like, He picks up the mic, he's going, oh, I'm happy for him, drops the mic. Like, you just had like a little hissy fit. Like you're just showing your immaturity level, and you drive for NASCAR?
Yeah.
If I was Joe Gibbs, you can get your ass and pack your shit and go.
That's why Rick Hendricks didn't want him no more. He's a crybaby.
Yep. I could not
Boy
believe.
can drive. He's just an asshole.
I mean, how did you get to that point? I mean, you're making buco bucks. You've got everything that you want.
Oh yeah.
And then some. And this is how you act. Like, for Christ's sake, you could come in 10th place in the race and still come out with money. All right, your sponsors may not be happy or whatever, 10th place, but you know what? You're going around the track, cameras on you, whatever.
Well, you look at someone.
Maybe I'm just this level down here and I see bigger things. I don't know.
Look at Richard Petty. You know, I think towards the end of his career, he went like 10 years without winning a race, but he was a class act from the day he started and still to this day.
Yep. He will still sit there. He was one guy that would sit there, not listen to that commercial bullshit. And, you know, where it's like, oh, you have X amount of time to sign autographs. When it's over, get up and walk away. Till the last person, that man would sit there and sign any damn thing you had.
And did it with a smart. Dad saw him at Daytona as a kid doing that in the 70s.
Yep.
And his attitude was, you know, without these fans, I couldn't afford to do what I want to do. These people will pay him away to
who's
do
paying
it.
that purse?
Guy in
Fans,
that
sponsors.
stands.
Sponsors won't be there without people looking at it.
No. That's why they're in the shape they're in today. They tried going too big, and all forms of motorsports, you have the stigma, and I'm sure I ain't helping stereotype of this dumbass hillbilly, hilljack, whatever there. And they said, oh, well, we want to be this. They want to be Cadillac on Chevy Cavalier money.
Uh-huh.
Well, Hoss, that ain't going to happen.
No, not at all.
And you alienate that local core. They say, well, hell, I'm going to, instead of spending my money to go to NASCAR, I'm going to go to Williams Grove where I can go in the pits even with World Outlaws.
Yep.
Sit in the infield and watch the action. Anything.
Oh, yeah. But you get that, like I said, you get that grasp on stuff. You're able to see the guys, talk to them. I mean, I'm nobody special going to what I'm doing or whatever, but there's people who follow me around that look for me, of all people, that look for me in the pits. Ask me, are you going to this pole? Are you going to that pole? Are you going to go here or go there? And I'm like, I'm entertaining somebody. You know, I mean, yeah, it's costly, don't get me wrong, but I'm entertaining. Somebody wants to see this thing pull, and I can't, I mean, honestly, I cannot put my finger on it of why. I mean, I am not your big guy, like, you know, the big trucks that you see. I mean, you've been in a Buck. Yeah. I'm not that guy. Nah. But why do people want to see the hillbilly wagon?
Well,
it says it right there.
You can relate to it more.
You know, they seem to want to. There's a lot of people out there. Yeah, I might not be that exciting. I ain't making full pulls. I'm not blowing the doors off the event.
No.
By no means. But people get attached to that smaller guy. I mean, I won't say attached. I'm going to say they get attached to me. But they like to see that underdog truck. What can it do compared to this? It's appealing. And I never knew that until recently, just seeing this now, to where it's like, why? And I ask it, like, why are people following my truck? It is nothing. It's a damn small block, for Christ's sakes. But people love it for some reason, and I really think it goes back to, I mean, I had Leroy Booth that had the old Three Bears truck that sold to Dan Savage. He was over there showing people my rear suspension. Now, I didn't ask him what exactly he was showing them. I don't care. It's out in the open. You can look at it. I have nothing to hide, especially them guys. But, you know, he was showing some, like, a couple people, he went back over there and showed them something, whatever it was. You know, so my truck is like I wouldn't say cobbled, but I mean, it is, you know how it's built. Whatever I got around here is what gets put together.
Oh, yeah.
But people are looking at it. They're interested in seeing this truck, like, this damn thing has leaf springs in it. But then you see no bump stops. How the hell does this thing pull in leaf springs and not compress?
Well, it's something different what they got. And
it's just, it is not that money truck.
No.
By no means is it a money truck, but people are attracted to it for some reason. I mean, I thank the people that follow it. I mean, it's great. It gives me more go to keep doing it, you know. And it's like, not saying they're pushing me like, oh, I'm expected to be there, but it makes me want to be there more. You know, talk to the people. You know, see what they like, what they don't like. Just meeting new people. It's been crazy, absolutely crazy since getting into the PPL with the smaller truck. But that goes back to your roots, your down home stuff, to where if you're going to start to commercialize, I use that word loosely, but if you start to commercialize that fair and build it bigger, you know, like you said, there's no relation to that smaller class, that smaller truck. Your guy that you've known for a couple of years, like, he's not there anymore. So then they don't have the urge to go to the fair. Now the fair's losing money, the vendors at the fair lose, everybody loses at that point.
The sport as a whole suffers.
Yep. You know, and it's just, that's what it is. What does he say? Yep, the people feel like they want to be involved. And that's exactly what you need to do with these events. You know, and that's where I was going with. Thanks. Great. Good thing Walter's smarter than I am, because I need all the help I can get over here.
So, hell, you ought to put that old boy on the payroll.
Yeah, I might have to get him on the show one of these days.
Man, or something.
I don't know how much of a talker he is. I never talked to him, you know, on the phone or nothing yet. So what the
hell, he makes sense.
Oh, yeah. You know, and if you're involved, and that's like when I announced in Lebanon this year. You know, the announcer up there, the old guy's good. He knows his tractor, stuff like that. But the diesel trucks, he's a little shaky on. So I took more control on the diesel side because I know most of the trucks. So the fans getting involved, and he picked up on what I was doing after a while. So he started doing it. I'm like, all right, cool. But I couldn't really. He never caught on to bouncing back and forth with me, so it never got to that point. But anyhow. The fans are never brought in. I don't know if you've ever been to an event at Lebanon and Mason-Dixon. It's a little bit.
I've been in Mason-Dixon before, but
the announcing's a little dry. So you just sit there and you watch an event in the stands, and that's it. You don't. It's like, oh, this guy's pulling. No, so and so is pulling this truck. Okay, his distance was this. This guy's pulling this. His distance. That's all you really got out of them. Well, the fans need involvement. If you make the fans part of the show. Now they're in that. Now they're real. You got them sucked in. They're not going to leave that seat now.
Oh yeah.
So you got them in there, just like the fair. I would love to announce our fair. I mean, they'd never have me do it. You know that. Well, I would love to announce the fair. Oh, I would tear that place up.
Well, but even going back at our local fair on a relatability level, I mean, you have people in the stands. You know, they might think a 6.0 truck with a bulldog chip in it or something's. They might say, that truck's a cat's ass, and they can walk back in the pits, look at it, and, you know, that might be something to them.
But they could find out what the guy did. Oh, you just put that little chip, little handheld tuner in there. You know, here we go with this tuning thing, but we won't get on that. But, you know, a little handheld tuner, boost it up a little bit.
I broke the dwell meter out and filed points down a little, but
we just closed the gap up a little bit there.
Tighten her up. Damn slide door broke.
No, wait, now you say I should have put a dwell meter up. I still got them. I got 3 of them, as a matter of fact.
Hell, you just turn it in and back it off till it starts missing, and quarter turn, I think.
That's what you did on the distributor, you know. Start to speed up, and then when it started to slow down, you just put it in the middle. You're all right, go down the road.
That's within spec.
Walter's got my vote. That's cool. But, Oh, there's Austin. Hey, well, you made it. Good Lord, we've been on here hour and a half. Where you been?
What's happening, Bubba?
He's, God, where's he at? Wow, I'm having a brain fart. I can't think where he's at.
Where are you from, dude?
He
showed up.
Yeah, he's from out there somewhere. Like I said, Walter's from Indiana. Well, we know who Nathan is. Tim Heaps, we know him if he's still on there. Tim Heaps used to pull. He pulled the diesel stuff. He went back to drag racing and from Utah. That's right. I was going to say that, but I was thinking Missouri. I don't know why. But yeah, Tim got back into drag racing, and apparently from his posts I've been seeing, if it's his car, because I haven't seen his car, he's doing pretty damn good.
Cool
I tell you,
deal.
he's got it in his blood. Tim is not. He did good pulling. He's drag racing's his thing, and he went back to it, and he's doing really good. So it's good to see him doing that. I wish he was back into pulling, but.
Nah, but
you know,
hey, whatever floats the dude's boat.
It's what he's doing.
Some people are into screwing farm animals, which I don't agree with, but hell.
Now Austin's got a pull. I think he's got a pull this weekend out there, and he's had some driveline issues. So hopefully he's got them things figured out. That's another topic. Good announcing that gets the crowd involved. Yeah, I mean that's Walter chime back in. You know, and that's the thing. You really got to pull them in. I mean, Blue Ball, PA. I don't know. I don't think you've been to Blue Ball, but Blue Ball, PA, you know the area.
Yeah, I've been there.
The Amish Mennonite area. You got to be careful. I mean, sometimes I let some loose words fly, and you got to be careful up there. You don't do that in that area. It's just you just don't do that.
Are you ever seen Kingpin?
Yeah, yeah, right. That was a little different, but you know.
Hi, whore.
Yeah. That was good. Actually, I have that. I wonder if I could play that on this thing. I got that on DVD. That'd be pretty good. But he's got his faces going across. But Charlie horse, what the hell? But up there, you got to be careful what you say.
Yeah.
And it's real hard to get them into stuff. So I'm like, all right, what am I going to do to get? I mean, they're up there in their sundresses, bonnets. You know how to dress the Mennonite, Amish, everything. That's very prominent in that area. Nothing wrong with it. Just that's what the area is. Well, to announce, how am I going to get them into this poll where, you know, they sit there. They don't mind. I mean, they're not that crazy like we get. You know, so they have more composure, you know, a little more structured composure to them. Well, I'm thinking like, all right, how am I going to do this? All right, well, I had the red truck up there. So I'm like, well, talk about the poll, talk about tires on stuff, whatever, you know, dig into the poll a little bit. Let's bust on myself a little bit and see what happens. And then, like, some of the funny stuff pointing out, I actually broke through and got them laughing and into the poll. I mean, that's a milestone for me to do that. Where, I mean, but they got it. They never left. I mean, they sat there to the end. I mean, they were into it, just rolling with it. And that's very important. Like I said, even at your fairs, if you don't have a good announcer, and I know, you know, Ray Taluki joined, you know, Ray's good at announcing. I mean, he is really good. He'll blow me out of the water. Andrew is good. Dave's phenomenal. The guys from the Pullin Radio Network. Dave's got that a little bit of a hillbilly touch, but energy to the max. I mean, he's done a lot of demo derby stuff too, and he incorporates that into the pulling stuff. And I tell you, I mean, it blows my mind, the stuff that they do. And like I said, that announcing brings them in, and you got to have that. I mean, if you don't,
you're putting a show on.
And like I said, even at our fair is pretty dry. It is very dry with the announcing. It's just basic this, basic that. You need to throw that liveliness in there and get that crowd involved, and that's going to bring it in there. And then, you know, you get the crowd involved. Now the crowd's involved in the trucks. Hopefully that turns in truck track or whatever, to where that kid in the stand, like we're going back to, your beginning puller, to try to get that class back, you know, that bottom of the barrel class, to get that class back in there might entice that person to go out there, because now they're energized. They're hyped up.
Oh, well, not only that, you might have somebody buying a damn cotton candy, getting on a Tilt-A-Whirl or fried Oreo, and hear the announcing and all, and say, yeah, I'll go check this out.
What is going on over there?
Yeah.
Yup. So that's going to bring more excitement to it and bring that to where that guy in the stands that's got a truck like yours, but bare bones stock truck, you know, if we can get 10, 12 trucks to be like, you know, look, we're basic trucks, you know, we need a class. Boom, we can make it happen. But you need the equipment to make the class. There's the problem.
Well, and the word's got to get out, too.
Walter knows Dave Fultz, yeah. Well, he's an awesome, great guy. Dave's nuts. I mean, he's nuts in a good way. When he does his announcing, I mean, he gets into it. I mean, he gets the crowd into it. He knows how to hit that button, and he's just good at it. Now, I said Ray's good too. He's got the voice, the inflection that Ray can put on stuff that I lack. He's got that. I mean, he can really throw certain things out there and change stuff. I mean, his pitch, what he puts, what emphasis on what. And I'm trying to learn that to do it a little bit better. I'm just not that good. You know me, I got to have a few beers, and I got to be really into something to really start throwing it.
You look at announcing, you see some moments in sports or racing, anything, you can remember that moment. You might not remember the play. You remember
John
the
Madden
announcer making the call. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. I mean, that's a voice. You can close your eyes and hear his voice.
Oh, I mean, there's many of them, and that's what makes the moment. You have a lot of it. Baseball, football, basketball, whatever, fans of that, you probably remember a call as much as anything.
When that action kicked in, that announcing's got to follow, and it draws everybody in, and then it draws people to want to be there. It even draws people, like I said, in our sport, it wants to draw them in to possibly participate at that point. So now you're going to pull...
Like, man, I could hear my name hollered over the loudspeaker at the county fair or...
And that's where it starts.
Yeah.
I mean, who...
Well, it's cool getting that recognition.
In polling, in any polling, modified tractor, PPL, NTPA, I don't care what it is. If it's top-end demo derby, I don't care. The reason I thought of that, Mike joined.
There you go.
But where did you start? You started at the damn county fair, more than likely. That's where I started.
Yeah.
I mean, I started at the Flemington Fair in New Jersey with a wheel horse lawn ranger, went up to the tractors, went to my 74 pickup, and just kept moving up.
Yeah, you get in and
then a trailer came to be a necessity.
Well, and going back to that, it's just the recognition. You could have people say, oh, damn, Gordo pulled her when you were a kid up in New Jersey. You're from, hell, that's Tony out there.
Yep.
Cool.
And
recognition, you could...
Oh, when I went back to Hunterdon County last year, new fairgrounds, it ain't the racetrack no more. When I went back there last year, I seen people that I haven't seen for decades. It pulled up, they heard the name, and they're like, wait a minute. They didn't know the truck, they didn't know nothing. They just heard the name, and my dad my dad was pretty popular. He was the farm community stuff. He was just, the name's known. I was always known because I was a problem, so everybody remembers me.
Even up there?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You should see my driving record from New Jersey. It ain't good. But anyway, when I went up to pull or whatever, then everybody's like, they know the name, and they're like, what the hell? They put two and two together, and then they start the trucks known. I kind of want to go back this year, but I'm not sure. I don't know how it's going to work with doing the PPL schedule, but it was just cool to go there. And one guy, Dave Everett, was it not Dave Everett? Roger Everett. DNR Equipment, we bought all of our farm equipment from them for the years. And saw him last year. I mean, he had a hole in his throat, everything. He was still doing good. I mean, you wouldn't think nothing's wrong with the man. Earlier this year, he ended up passing away. So I'm glad I went last year to be able to see him one last time. And that kind of sucked. But, I mean, he was up there, but just like that, gone. So there's another one down the tubes.
And it's cool go back to your hometown. And
I just wanted to put tires on the track one more time. It ain't the same track, but I just want to put tires on the track one more time.
You know what? Back to that, it's your hometown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mike agreed. He said, "Oh, well, yes, sir." You start on the bottom, and you work your way up. But going back to our main topic that we're on, if you lose that bottom, where do you start? I mean, what do you're going to have a designated? I mean, you don't start at the PPL level. You don't start at NTPA level. You start on the bottom. Where the hell is she going?
Well, you look at anything. You could have, Wayne Gretzky. He didn't go to the NHL when he was 2 years old. He started out pee-wee hockey, worked his way up to whatever, and become that. You got to walk up a ladder. You cut them couple bottom rungs up. Well, how the hell are you gonna climb it?
Yeah, I mean, but if you don't have it, I mean, if you get rid of T-ball, get rid of Little League.
Where's your next Cal Ripken at?
What happens? You ain't got nothing.
No, it's done.
You got to start. You have to have In our sport, you got to basically start with deep pockets and never have a chance to build up slowly. You got to start with deep pockets. Boom. You need a pro stock truck right now in order to pull anywhere, or else you're just going to get blown away.
Well, it'd become like NASCAR.
Yep.
If you ain't born into money, it ain't
gonna happen.
Gotten so far from its roots. It started out as people taking their daily driver family car and going racing.
Yeah. Not having enough paint to paint the roof.
Yeah.
You know? And that's where it comes from. I mean, will I die before I ever get a win with PPL? Probably. Unless I get a sponsor or hit the lottery. I mean, you don't see me building any. I mean, I haven't built a basic big block yet. It ain't there. You know, but I'm destined to do it with less. You know me. But, you know, what the... Oh, the wife chimed in. I said, where the hell? She must be watching. I said, where the hell is she going? She said, pizza. I'm like, well, there we go. Yeah, so I guess about 15 minutes we'll have to close this out, which, yeah, that's about right. That'll be 2-hour shows. It actually kicks ass, but, you know, yeah, it's just where do you go? Austin started a work stock and then jumped 2.5. Yeah. You know, but you started in the work stock, but is that work stock diesel class really what they call, I mean, the names, some of the names I hate. You call it work stock. Well, stock just needs to be out of it because there is no stock diesel from the factory that's got tuned with coal blowing out, this and that. And there's none of them trucks are stock. I mean, Richard Peterson, he runs a stock diesel. Well, he used to. I don't know when last time he pulled it. He would pull his diesel pickup, his work truck, the maroon truck pulled, his gray truck even pulled. Well, the one before, I don't know if the new one did yet. I don't know if he ever...
Yeah, it's wrong.
Okay, see, he's on factory tire, no tune, just, it's a factory diesel truck, period. And he goes out there and pulls, and he gets left in the dirt. So, yeah, right there, you're seeing it. You're seeing it happen, and I don't know if people are just blinded by it or they just want that action. They want I know with diesel guys, they want smoke. Oh, everybody wants smoke. No, I want to see a truck win and don't blow a damn bit of smoke. That impresses, as a diesel mechanic, that impresses me. Now, I know it's hard. You got to have fuel to keep things cool. But I want to see you do it without smoking. So now make a work stock. If you want to call it work stock, let's make a work stock class where you're not allowed to smoke. And I've said that. I mean, you've heard me say it. No smoke. A little bit. You know, mostly when you work any of them, they're going to have a little bit of smoke. But not coal. You're not rolling.
No.
You know, you're not turning daylight into night. With the smoke. You run a stock truck in that class, and that's it. You smoke, you're DQ'd.
Yeah.
Done. I don't give a shit what tire. You want to run a 40-inch tire on it? Hey, be my guest. Have fun with that. But you're not smoking. Now, there's your work stock class. Now, your 2.5 class, well, I don't know. You'd almost have to have a midway class. You wouldn't be able to call it 2.5 because then you're able to go a 2.5, 2.55, whatever the hell they're calling it now. That's the next level. You know, where you're starting turbo change at this point. You're doing stuff. And then there's guys who are running stock turbo housings, but changing fin, you're angling. They're doing a lot of stuff to them. So you need that no smoke. Because if you're going to turn the diesel up, you got to put fuel to it. Fuel's going to make it smoke. Well, if you want to turn it up and not smoke, you may have a problem. So if you want to win that bad and smoke and melt your motor down, have at it, buddy. Go right ahead. And then that competition is going to go past you. So I think that work stock class in a diesel needs to be no smoke. No smoke class. Just like your street gas truck or your stock factory showroom, whatever you want to call it. Your gas truck. It needs to be a factory truck. Now, an older truck, you may not have a cast iron intake. You may not have the factory carburetor. You can't expect a 30, 40-year-old truck plus to have a working quadrajet. Some do, some don't.
Oh, hell, I had one up until...
Cast iron intakes, they're out there, but...
Oh, I still run that cast iron manifolds. And
a lot of guys...
go to an Edelbrock, which is smaller than a quadrajet.
Yep. Yeah, by rights, yes, it is. It just works on a different meter. It's an air meter gauge. That's all it is.
Yep.
You know, they work when they work, but how many of them are in good shape that are working? Very few.
Very, very few.
So you can't expect that. So, yes... You're going to have an intake change. You're going to have a carburetor change.
Yeah, but I ain't going to bolt a Holly carburetor on
you have a standard
intake and
you have a standard aluminum intake. Now, I understand an Edelbrock or a Wind or a Holly, whatever. That intake will flow better. I get that. But it's not going to win or lose a pull.
No.
I'm going to tell you that right now. My red truck, you know it. You know the motor. You know the truck, the daily driver, the motor when it came out of.
Cast iron.
Cast iron intake.
Block factory intake.
Cast iron manifolds went in that.
With the smog tubes.
Yeah, had the smog tubes on it, and people had a hard time beating me. So I don't care. And I didn't hog the manifolds out. I did not hog the intake out.
Nope.
It was all daily driving and had vacuum secondary carb.
That truck, that motor in that truck, pulled that pulling truck.
It was my old hauler.
It was a tow rig.
Yep, that was the old hauler motor, and you helped me drop it in.
Yep.
I didn't even change the distributor. It went. I just took the cap off.
You left belts, manifold on and
Yep,
on.
we dropped it right for the damn thing right in.
Right in, hooked that 4-speed.
Yep, notched the frame because the manifolds are different from a 90, but it went in, and so all that stuff, all your headers and stuff. Yes, it can add power, but is it going to win or lose the pull? I don't think so. No. It does not matter. It depends. Gear ratio, traction, stuff like that. That's going to make a difference. And power.
You can tell a truck. You can tell if it's running a little hot. You know?
Mine wasn't. Even though I'm a cheater, of course. When you're winning, you're always cheating. But there was nothing done to that. No cam, no nothing. It had an RV cam in it. I admit that. But it was no race cam. It was for towing.
You redone that motor just so you could drive to work. You weren't.
It was a daily driver.
You didn't rebuild that motor. Go truck pulling. You had 200-some thousand miles on a damn hauling rig.
Yeah, on a 454.
Yeah, it needed freshened up.
Now the old one's getting there. I got 190 on it. It's sad.
I understand that you're probably not going to have the factory motor in it. Hell, that black truck, I literally run a motor that got drug out of the damn woods in it.
It ran better than the motor was in it.
Yeah, I do not. We hooked a chain to it, drug it down, threw it in the truck. I didn't know if the thing was stuck or what.
That was it. That went in.
It went in and it run.
Yep. Yeah, actually, that was a good running motor. Weird how that worked, but
it was actually in that red truck you're talking about originally.
Well, look at the 55 that I had of the pictures up on 55 Chevy that Richard owns. Burhead tells the story the best. The transfer case that went in that truck when they had it years ago, they wanted to go buy a transfer case. So the guy's like, oh, yeah, it's up there on the hill or whatever. Literally was sunk in the ground. They had to dig the transfer case out of the ground. But I think it's the same case that's in the damn truck, unless they changed it, but it's been in there for years.
You're making do with what you got.
Yep.
I mean, hell, that Donnie Veazey's truck.
Oh, Lord.
Just among other things, hub was messed up, and he said, hell, welded. He needed a cab mount that had a Sears socket.
Craftsman socket was the friggin' cab
You're just
mount.
making do with what you
it also had a spider gear. The spider gear was it was under or above the socket.
Yeah, I mean, you're just making do with what you got.
Yeah, he actually came over here to weld the hub because he didn't have the stick welder. He used the stick welder to do it.
You're just making do with what you got.
But that's your grassroots type stuff, and that's what needs to be on your brush pulls. It needs to be at your fairs. You got to have this. That's what people want to see, this stuff, and that's your clique. That's your group. That's what's here. And we're getting so far away from it, and it's just...
Oh, yeah. It's like that 58 Chevy right there.
Yeah, that's not up yet. We can put it back up.
Well, I took... Rick needed a battery. I done parked my truck down the track, took battery out of my truck so he could go run.
I remember when at the fair, they ran the batteries down. I'm sitting in line waiting to pull, and I have my hood up on the red truck, and... They pull up on the side of me. They couldn't get it started. They needed to jump. They had the cables. So we popped the hood of my truck, put the cables on the battery, sat there, idled until it was time to pull. They finally, right before I was going on the track, they fired the thing up, pulled the cables off, shut the hood. I went on the track.
It's all you just help people out, whether it's slinging weights or taking parts off a truck. Hell, if you need to pull a distributor out, hell, one of us in that local scene, I'm sure somebody's done it or unbolted a carburetor, tire, whatever. It's just that back to it, that local camaraderie. It makes it fun.
And that's what it has to come back to. I mean, we can close on that. It's getting about that time. But where, the main time, and we went off on God knows what. I mean, it could have got worse. But, the main thing is that the fairs need to recognize, yes, you're making money. You're bringing in people to watch a pull with the fancy stuff, with your sanctioned events, with your points events, stuff that's put together with the organization. I understand the point of all that, but you're losing touch with what the fair is about. You're losing touch with the local people and giving them their chance where it used to be. Even the old timers and the young people that learn from the old timers, to where, oh, this is how we did it. Oh, that was kick ass. Why can't we do that now? You know, go back to those basic roots and add that to it. You know, still have your big stuff that people come to see, but I'm going to tell you right now, the big stuff, you know it as well as I do, the big stuff wears thin after a while.
After a while, yeah, you got to have it, but at the same time, you got to have.
You've got to have. You got to relate.
Yes, the relatability level. It's a local fair.
Yep.
Local.
That's what, and you need the local people there. You know, relate to them. Be like, oh yeah, I hang out with him in the garage. We work on that truck, whatever. They're in the stands. They're telling the person next to them. Now that person's like, oh, that's cool. The stories start rolling. Talk about this. Talk about that. It builds that group.
Yeah, and so that dude might say, man, I seen this badass truck go down the track county fair the other night. You know, you got to check that son of a bitch out.
Uh-huh.
That's how it starts.
And that's happened. You know? I mean, I don't know if it was Billy or if it was one of the nuns when I had the 383 in there when I had the low gears in it that one time. You know, he's just like, man, you're really winding that thing up. I'm like, well, that's what it's built for. Run it till it blows.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, it's, somebody's into it.
If you ain't going to win the event, at least make it spectacular.
Well, that's like me. I ain't never going to win. People
you
talk
never know.
about me making an ass out of myself, but hey, people are talking about me.
Yeah, some people I've talked to said it's like, oh, they're trying to talk you into hooking the white truck, and I don't know.
I don't need hell. I'm still outmatched.
To an extent, I mean, but you're going to notice a difference. I mean, if you do hook it. One hook, I mean, I hooked my white truck to prove a point, the stock point, but, I don't know if I would. I still say keep the damn black truck, build it, use that for a toy, use that for the plowing and stuff like that. I would hang on to it. I wouldn't get rid of it.
We'll see.
Throw a couple dollars into some bitch, put her back on the track. We'll make a puller out of her.
Yeah.
Walter's great decision. Give it good work. He's going to bed, so that means we're going to have to. But one of these days, I see when Mike Snyder showed up. Might have to, if I get the radio thing going, might have to do a second show on it. He's gotten big into the demo derby thing, and I've never knew how much the demo derbies, they got better payouts than we got. So it's that might be something to touch. I don't know much about it, so he might be somebody make some interesting conversation with.
That's local guy. He had to start from the bottom, and some days you might still feel like you're there.
Oh yeah,
but
a lot of days.
Yeah, he didn't come out as top dog.
Nope. No, but he's doing good what he's doing. He's building and he's going for it. So,
hey, God bless
him. I
him.
wish I could talk him into a pulling truck because he might, with the stuff that he puts. He's a fabricator like I am.
Yeah.
He makes miraculous shit out of junk just like I do.
He's just like all of us trying to make chicken salad out of chicken shit. You don't know.
But that right there is half the fun. And real quick, down at Luray, a guy with a Diamond T truck. He's like me. Find stuff around the garage, patch this together, build this, fabricate that. His truck has that patina, that cool factor, because it's not bought components. It's not all the fancy stuff you see on this truck, on that tractor, on this lawnmower. It's not all that, you know what to expect when you look at them. Then you look at this one, and it's like, look at this cobbled piece of shit. Then all of a sudden it wins the event. Mm-hmm. Well, wait a minute. That cobbled piece of shit just blew the doors off all that fancy stuff.
All about throwing stuff together. That's how hot rodding got started. My grandfather, He makes some cool-looking fixes up old stuff, Falcon, old Willie's Jeep wagon. I remember he needed to make a floor pan for the Falcon.
Oh, yes.
He ain't got no money for that, and I ain't spending that money. He took him scrap sheet metal and a Harbor Freight MIG welder. I remember Pop-Up had a 6x6.
Where did he get the scrap metal from?
I can't even remember.
The one he took off the side of a washing machine.
Oh, no, he tried that before.
Oh, okay.
He did that back in the day, thought he's on to something. He cut a quarter panel out of a car, brazed it, thinking that washing machine ain't going to rot.
Yeah.
Well, Pop thought he's got that porcelain on it. He brazed that thing in there, and that son of a bitch, it looked like a Pennsylvania road how buckled it was. But,
dude, that's thinner than for HVAC.
So he took his floor pan, scrap sheet metal, cut him a notch in a 6x6. I mean, it looked like a goddamn quilt for a floor pan. He He took seats out of a Camaro that were wrecked, washed the blood stains out of them. So he got a deal on the damn things. But you know what? It was
OxyClean.
Cool. Probably.
Yeah, but that's the thing, the cool factor.
It's neat.
And that's where, like I said, with these lower classes, these bottom barrel classes, that's where it comes. Like your no money class needs to come back. You know, the high dollar stuff, don't get me wrong, it's pretty, it sounds good, it's nice. But where is the home built factor? Where is the fabrication? Just you go to the scrap pile. I mean, you remember the old mud truck with the blue bolts that are on everything that you own and I own, and they're still around. Those rear bars that I made, remember the traction bars I put? That all came from. That came from scrap.
Yeah.
The bolt that was in the front that went through the spring hanger was an old U-bolt from one of the trucks, front axle on a dump truck. The tube was I don't know what the hell the tube was. I found that in a scrap pile. Found some, I think it was, what the hell size was it? Maybe 3/8. I don't even think it was 3/8. Maybe it was 1/4 inch. Whatever the plates were. It all came from a junk pile. Going to the scrap yard, cut the shit out, welded it to the thing, got everything working, put it all together. There it was. We need those classes. And I don't know how to get people to wake up. I wouldn't say wake up. We'll be nice about it. The hell with it. How to get these people to wake up, and see that, yes, the fancy stuff, the high horsepower, the shiny paint jobs, stickers, and all this other shit on these trucks that are not a national level, not a pro truck, but look like the pro truck. Yes, it's got a lot of flair to it. It's got excitement. But the cool factor is not there.
Oh, yeah.
The people want to see the ragged, and I'll say it in this manner, the ragged out stuff. They want to see the stuff that's slapped together, that's garage built, that's out there, and doing something with nothing.
Oh, I'm more
that's what people
too.
are into now.
You're to see the craftsmanship. This dude didn't do too bad with what he had to work with.
Yep. And then you see, and you keep watching, and it brings people back. Be like, I got to see this thing again.
Oh, yeah.
So then he gets a little bit better and a little bit better, and he cobbles this together and gets this together, and then he finally gets a little bit of money, some winnings maybe or whatever. Now he's finally got, instead of 2 tires that match, now he's got 3 to match. And it's the progression that keeps people interested.
You go to a car show and you see, don't get me wrong, it's neat to see a guy does up 69 Camaro or Mustang or whatever. You see some.
I'm tired of it.
Yeah. Well, you see a dude drag a 59 Chevy panel wagon or something. Not even that, but an old cab over Jeep or something. You're like, man, who the hell does one of them up? That's pretty cool.
It's different. Yeah. You need different. In order to keep an interest, something has to change. And it's like the Buck. The Buck is a great track. It's a great track, great venue. Mike does he does wonders up there with that place. But it's getting to the point, not making it sound bad, so if Mike's watching, nothing bad about the Buck, but it's the same note. And I think it's starting, I'm not going to say it's hurting, but it's starting to slow down the amount of spectators. They're not coming as much, because if they go to the Buck and they see East Coast Pull the first event, okay, well, it's going to be pro stock, super stock tractor. It's going to be 4-wheel drive pickups, gas, alcohol. Then we're going to roll in the modified tractor. We're going to do 466. Or at the last event, it's going to be 2-wheel drive. It. So, it's like, all right, well, I don't have to hit this one. I got some work to do around the house. I'm going to go see the next one. It's the same note all the time, and it's starting to wear. There are still people that come. Don't get me wrong. The Buck has its reputation, its fans. It's going to have that. But there needs to be some sort of toss-up. Just like when he introduced the Combine Demolition Derby. It was a smash, and now it still is. It's still exciting, but it's starting to, all right, I've seen it, I'm not worried about it. I'll go to this one. I'll go to that one. Now you're starting to pick and choose. You're not drawn to it. You're not like, I'm definitely not doing shit tonight because I need to go here to see this event because this is coming or this is happening. And you got to have that wow factor, and it may be that wow factor might not be, I'll use, I don't know if you know Wagler's truck or not. For anybody out there who knows the UCC, the Ultimate Call-Out Challenge, or Wagler Diesel Performance, they got a hell of a Duramax. You got to see this thing. Twin turbo with a blower. It's like going back to like Detroit style, but it works. This
Oh, yeah.
thing makes some serious power. And he is an innovative. What he did, I'll get into it some other day, but what he did is innovative. That's a wow factor. But that's up here wow factor. Not always is it high horsepower, exciting of that nature that's going to be that wow factor. Sometimes going back and bringing back history, do a nostalgic pull or something of the sort, that's going to be a wow factor. It doesn't have to be the loudest thing on earth and the most exciting, blowing up, sparks flying, flames flowing, dirt flinging 60 feet in the air. It could be the most basic thing, be that wow factor.
Oh, some dude could show up.
Which could boom your fare.
Some dude could show up in like a 63 Chevy or something like that, ain't all hot rod, and that's pretty damn cool.
Yep. And it could be a shiny, flat black, it doesn't matter. And say he hooks the sled and goes down the track. Goes as far as he can, didn't want to break it, and does whatever. It's just neat to see, like, hey, man, old man, like Austin said, an 83-year-old guy pulls with them. Yeah, Andy said it, 500 cubic inch Duramax. Dude, this thing's sick. It is sick.
Pretty impressive.
It's nuts. And it sounds like a V8. When he goes down the track, it is really a cool sound. Because he drag races usually, but they did the pull with UCC. He actually back half real quick, took the drag race setup, made it unboltable. Unbolts it for the back of the truck, has a whole subframe with pulling tires in the rear in it, and puts it to the truck. I mean, just one hell of a setup. But that, like I said, that wow factor doesn't have to be huge. A wow factor can be a lawnmower.
Yeah.
It has to have a certain thing about it. I don't know what word to use, and like I said, with the pullin', we're so used to going up, up, up. We're building these classes. Oh, more power, more exciting, faster wheel speed, more noise, this, that, more smoke, whatever. Maybe going backwards is what we need to do, just like circle track. They're tearing asphalt up to put dirt back on. Why are you going backwards? Because people want it. Why are the groups, and I will say it in our area, and I'll put it out there no matter who likes it and who doesn't like it out here, our groups keep wanting to move forward. They want to look at and I want to be NTPA. I want to be like PPL. I want to be like the Buck. You're not. You'll never have Bowling Green's reputation. You will never have Chapel Hill. You will never have Tomah, Wisconsin. You will never have the Buck. I mean, will never have that. It's just not going to happen. Those days are done. What they have, and and they're keeping it. And you can't take it away. I don't give a shit what you do. You can't take it away. So you need to work with what you have. So if you can't be that level, don't try to be something you're not. Be what you are. So if you're a brush pull, that's what you are. Don't forget about your brush pull guys. Don't forget about where you started. And even me started. What the hell? Oh, that friggin' thing again. Thank God the wife's paying attention. Let me try to fix this real quick. Now we got a black screen. I should have put something else up there, but I didn't.
Technical difficulty.
Yeah. Where's that rainbow thing? Can I put that up there?
That or the test signal sound or whatever. Damn, bam, bam.
No, it's still doing it.
We're live.
No, we're moving.
We're live and live in color now, Jack.
Look at that. Hey, what's going on there? Holy hell. All right. Look at that motion. Yeah. Let me twerk. But no, there's people need to. Hey, Freddie finally joined in. We just keep running. We could probably be here all night, but still got work tomorrow, and I'm off Friday. I just hope the weather. We got Winchester, Virginia coming up. And I just hope the weather plays nice. It's looking a little iffy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not too happy because I want to hit Winchester. I mean, we got two of them. We got Winchester Friday, and then we got Bloomsburg, PA, Saturday. So Friday I go down there. I'm going to try to beat the traffic in the morning. That's why I took the whole day off. Get down to Winchester, camp out, take a nap, eat some burgers, whatever. I'll bring me with the grill.
Oh, yeah.
I eat. So get there, and I don't know if we're going to roll, if I'm going to drink beer at Winchester or if I'm going to roll up north and drink beer up north somewhere. I don't know how we're going to do it, but we're back to back. So
I just keep on getting it.
Hopefully the old girl handles it, and we're going to see. Bloomsburg, thank God Bloomsburg's second, because Winchester, if it rains right before we have the event, Winchester could be bad tight. Bad tight. Normally it could be like the Bucks, so I know what to expect, what to set up for. Bloomsburg is known to be a very biting track, and I'm a little nervous of that, but at least I got a little window after that of time, so if I do shear a shaft or U-joint or something, I can actually get it fixed. So we're going to hope for the best because I got the baby shafts. You know, I don't have the new stuff in it yet. I didn't get that far, so we're just going to...
That's the bigger scrap pile.
It never rains in Winchester. Yeah, right. I think that's what it says, yeah. Never rains. That must be the wife. Who the heck? No, I know who that is. Oh, low power. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. Backup power. There we go. No, I know who's coming. That ain't the wife. I know who that is. I forgot he's on there. That is funny. Yeah, I'm hoping it don't rain. I really want to get down there. I mean,
no, hell, you don't want it to rain at the county fair, and it's 10 minutes up the road, let alone a couple hours, a few hours away.
And last year, man, we got washed. Yeah, you know what? For all the haters that never liked my trailer, yeah, I bet you wish you wanted it enclosed last year at the fair, didn't you?
Yeah.
Dude, we had a party in that.
Yeah, it was like a goddamn congregation under that son of a bitch.
Dude, everybody was in that trailer, man. You couldn't fart in that thing. Oh, it was awesome, though. I mean, what a time. But what the heck is this thing doing? But yeah, just like I said, topic. I mean, we went off. God only knows we went off on stuff, but you know, yeah, I'm not your wife. No, I didn't. I hope not. Jeez, oh man, woo! We don't need that. Yeah, I wish I had the picture in here. I could put up who that is, but now we'll keep it quiet for now. But
Mr. X.
Yeah, well, we could cheat. Oh, real quick. Oh, if you saw it, went away. The power of the computer.
Stay tuned next week for the reveal, Mr. X.
Yes, Mr. X. Oh, good Lord. But yeah, that was, I guess we'll call it good on that. That was fun. I mean, like I said, you know, for anybody watching out there with enough beer, yeah, I know, I'm kicking them. Oh, man, I'm almost empty. Hang on. Let's do a little sidetrack. Hand me one of them things. Just because I know where I'm at. Ugh. Missed again. It's my show. I do what I want. For all you sidetrack guys out there. That's the thing they do, so I just had to copy off of them. And Andrew's not even watching, I don't think. So, but anyhow, anybody out there who's watching this, you know, listening to my babble and Gordo over here, if anybody's promoting and putting polls on and putting stuff on, just think simple. And I think we're really getting away from the simple stuff. You know, the basics, where things started. We're starting to forget this, and we're going to this fabricated wow factor. You know, just like TV. TV portrays what you see as a beautiful woman, what you see as, you know, good food, and what in this. Sometimes your choices are being made for you, and you don't even know it. Where, you know, it's like, oh yeah, the fans want to see this, they want to see that. Do they? I mean, where's your tally sheet? Who signed it?
I don't know.
You know, I really think that sometimes you got to go back and be like, you know, the old people still come to the fair. Your diehards go there. So what they're used to seeing, give it back to them. Mm-hmm. Then all of a sudden the youth learns about it and be like, man, that was cool. Like, old school stuff is going to appeal. I don't care who you are.
Well, if somebody liked it at some point, someone's going to like it at another.
And we've lost it for how many years? So then to bring it back is going to throw a curveball and everything where, yeah, it may take some people that don't like change and adjustment. Well, it changed already. So all we're doing is going back. So back up. Think about backing up sometimes. It's not always about moving forward. You can move forward, you know, and where money might not be there when you move forward. It may not be that way to go. Like I said, with the circle track, sometimes going backwards is where it's at. I mean, here's one for hot rodding. For years, I mean, me and my dad were always into hot rodding. You know that. For years, people were all about the billet, everything. Billet wiper arms, billet little mirrors. Automatic transmissions went in every friggin' hot rod. Had to have a 700 R4 with the lockup. Yep. Well, not even 9-inch Ford rears anymore. Yeah. They were just going cheap on the stuff and just doing like custom chassis, smooth this, smooth that. All that futuristic looking kind of crap. I don't know what you want to call it. I never cared for it.
It's somebody's bag or into, but
they went back to it for the. Now I don't know if it still is the same. Since I got rid of the 56. I'm not into the hot rod thing anymore that much. Well, the 56, you knew the car. You rode in the car. That is the oldest school hot rod you're ever going to be in. I mean, that was 70s hot rod
That's
built
that
car.
era. Well, you look at it now, talking about things
Well,
coming.
what did I have in there for a transmission? It was a stick.
Yeah, standard shifts.
All that bullshit with billet aluminum and all that automatic shit. Everybody started putting sticks back in the cars.
Well,
why are we going old school?
Well, look at
this is awakening.
what hot rodding started out as. It's like my grandfather says I couldn't afford to have fancy shit, and I just took this, threw it at that, made it work. Well, you look, then everybody wanted pristine, pro touring, and all vintage air. Well, now you look at something real popular, is rat rodding.
Yeah.
Going back to that principle, you're just
and it's not even about
shit at it.
It's not about money. It's not about fancy. It's about the word patina.
Oh yeah, patina. But you know
that's
what?
huge.
That dude that might have that old piece of shit, he's having fun driving it.
Yep. And it's even the like a lot of pullers now. I mean, you look at it. I mean, a couple of the sites on or not sites, but pages on 55 Chevy's rule. Well, I had a 56. It was pretty close. But
I had to try 5.
Yeah. Oh, I love the 56. I don't care what anybody says. It is, yes, they were the grandpa car, but they got so forgotten. 55 was so popular. 56 was kind of like, eh. And then the 57 went to, and I'm not a wing guy.
Yeah.
I like even a 59 Caddy, you can keep it. I don't want the damn wings. I'm just one of them different people. The 56 was a subtle car, but it was still a Tri-5. It had all the features of Tri-5, but it was subtle. And I loved I grew up with the damn thing too, so maybe I'm a little biased on that.
It's just something different that you're into. I mean, you go down the road, just like some of these pulling trucks, you see a 05 Chevy, yeah, you see that going up road every day, but you see some old boy go up road in a 68 International pickup, you're like, what the hell? So you're going to notice.
The next Buck event, you'll have to go with me up there. Number one, I could use some hub turning because the wife's falling over and everything else doing hubs. I don't know if we got that on video, but she crashed. But it was kind of my fault. I was in the gully and I backed up and she was holding on to the tire and she went with it.
Hell, ain't too bad. I wiped out pushing a sprint car years ago.
It happens. I mean, it's nothing to be embarrassed about. It just happens.
Shit, I had shoes as bald as tires on my truck and.
But like Mr. X over here, he was saying, speaking of old school,
Mr. X,
how are you today? But let's not get too seductive here. We don't want no suggestive dialogue. He brought up Dan Savage with the Bad S. Anybody out there who knows historic stuff in the Pullin, Three Bears truck. When Smith owned that truck, it's always known as Three Bears. When Leroy Booth bought it, kept it the same color blue, just changed it to Fair Game. Did some changes on it, whatever, and the truck progressed over the years. Dan bought it, and I didn't know Dan. I knew Dan was in the Pullin for a very long time, but he knows the history of it. I mean, I have got to get him on the show. He's another one. I mean, just like a lot of people I know with the history of Pullin. He took this truck, painted it flat black, which, you know me and flat black, it was badass. Well, Badass is the name of the truck, not badass. So let's clarify that for politically correct reasoning. But it is still always, everybody's going to know it. It's a Three Bears truck. It's just, you know how things get branded. Well, he took the thing, flat blacked it, put old, National Hot Rod stickers on it. Old NTPA stuff. He took the gauges, and he must have this stuff sitting around like I got this stuff. He put the old Stuart Warner, non-matching, they don't all match, old Stuart Warner gauges in it, and they work. Mm-hmm. I mean, he kind of went to old schooling the truck.
And it's cool.
And here's the thing. Now, I got an argument with somebody, and Bad Silverado. Oh, okay. Is that what that's supposed to mean? I don't think anybody knows that. I think they're thinking badass as what I said. So, but the old school factor of the truck's cool as anything. But now the suspension in the truck. I had an argument on Facebook, a guy, well, little argument. Oh, coil springs the way to go. Coil springs don't hop. Don't do this. Don't do that. Okay, it's the way to go. Well, that truck still runs leaf springs in the front. To this day, that truck still has leaf springs. And that truck won the points last year and was a hard truck to beat. So you're telling me coil springs are the best? Then you tell me off a winning-ass truck right there. And, I mean, yeah, I know gear ratio, motor, and stuff plays, but he's playing along with the rest of the guys with Sonny Leonard Hemis. And that truck pulls its ass off. So tell me that thing ain't working. I mean, that's a whole nother show topic there, suspension and stuff, but tell me it ain't working. Oh, it means both. So all right, both ways.
Well, there you go.
Yep. So there it is. We know the truth. Mr. X put it out there. So, but anyhow, like I don't know where we're going with all that, but yeah, I just like I said, just think backwards. You know, I won't say think backwards, but just don't forget the little guy. That little guy, number one, is your future. And number two is going to bring other people with him because, oh, man, he's going to pull his truck that never did before. Oh, he's going to pull his truck. I got to go watch this. Now you got asses in the seats. You got people coming. You might get other people hooked. You got to have a class with that competition level and get that, basically spark it back up again. I mean, how many new pullers do you see in our area? We got one.
Well, there you go. You just named one.
Yeah, we got one. I don't know if he's still watching or not, but Nathan. Nathan's the youngest one that I know of that's newest that's out there.
Yeah.
Other than that, nobody else has joined in how many years? How many years are we at like a stalemate?
Quite
with
a
nothing.
few.
So where are we going? We're not adding trucks. If anything, we lose them.
And you're going to lose some, especially on a local level. Life changes, things happen. You understand that, but who's next?
The thing is, it's really in a bad way. It's not just, life changes. I mean, there's nowhere for these guys to do it.
Right,
I mean, if you don't want to put that kind of money into your truck, then people are like, well, if you don't want to step it up, put the money into it, then don't pull. Well, that's exactly what's happening. Why do you have your rules this way? Make it toward a guy that doesn't want to put that much money into it, that may only want to pull locally, whatever, but that doesn't want to put that much money into it or doesn't have the money into it but wants to be part of it. That's the biggest thing.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody like you that don't have as much as I do, you only got one income. So you're limited on what you could do with the truck. So where can you play if you want to?
Can't.
You don't really, you can play. You can play.
I ain't going to play with myself.
Yeah, and that's basically what's going to happen. I don't want to put you out there, but, you're a good example of why I brought you on here. You're a good example of the topic of going back to a budget baseline class. None of this tune stuff. It needs to be a strict, no aftermarket tire, just a bullshit junk, pull the truck out of the weeds, pulling type class.
Oh, yeah.
To give the start, to have the fun. And it will put asses in the seats. You know it as well as I do.
Look at antique tractors. You have some that are hopped up. Anything involving the motor, you're going to have it. But a lot of shit is dragged right off the farm.
Mm-hmm.
And they're out having fun. People show up to watch, and you get a pretty good turnout.
Oh, yeah. Payouts bring the pullers. Don't get me wrong.
Absolutely. But it's a county fair. It ain't the NTPA.
We used to have, I remember the one night, and it ain't been this way in a bunch of years. I hooked the one night on the diesel night, because of course I don't have a diesel pull. I hooked over 90 trucks that night. They had over 90 hooks. Haven't seen that ever again.
Oh, it dropped probably to half last time I recall.
Yep. Our gas classes, they got rid of, we used to have the classic gas.
Mm-hmm.
You remember the year they got rid of it, I took my extra trophies I had and gave them out to just the classic guys where they got a trophy because that was wrong.
The year prior in that class, you had like 15, 16 trucks somewhere around that number.
Yep.
Next year, them trucks ain't out there. Well,
it's because they took the LS motors and they went in court. Now, we have more small block than big block. What do we have in that class? 2 big blocks?
2 or 3, yeah.
At the most 3. Most of the class was all small block. So you put the LS motors in there that are capable of beating the big block and just killing the stock small block.
You know what? And that don't mean you can't bump up big block and run. It's competitive with an LS, but like I said, I was running a 350, one that didn't know nothing about, and the other one was literally drug out of the damn woods.
Yep.
I didn't have a chance in hell.
You gotta have, and there's the truck. And people are like, well, there's not that many trucks.
Well, you're scaring them off. The hell there ain't.
They're out there. Number one, they're out there. Number two, you'll find them if you make the class. If you build it, they will come. All right, let's go on that little cliche, whatever you want to call it. That saying there, if you build it, they'll come. Now, the first year, maybe not. It's going to take a little bit of people.
Yeah, people are until word gets out, but you got to give something a chance. If you got a football team, you could have the 50 worst players in the league, and have a good coach. Well, if you don't win the Super Bowl and you fire the coach, well, you ain't give it a chance. You still have the shittiest players in the damn league.
I mean, you gotta
give it a chance.
I don't know if you watch sports or not. I do
not much.
Not much, a little bit.
I'm just using an example.
But that's a good example. You see teams that basically rebuild. They take players in, they come in. The first couple of years, they have to learn to work together.
Oh, yeah.
It takes a while. Then all of a sudden,
new deal.
It's bang. Oh, I mean, look at New England. New England hasn't changed. No wonder why they keep winning.
You know what? They sucked a couple years, and
they've learned to work together. Yep.
You got to give it a chance.
And that's the thing that you got to do it with the classes. I mean, you can't expect somebody to start in the world of truck and tractor pulling, especially, like I said, the fair was the topic. You can't expect the fair to keep all sanctioned points type pulling, in the classes. You've got to have your budget-friendly pull, your, me busting your ass, you busting my ass, going back and forth, I'm going to outpull your ass, whatever. Just fun pull. You've got to have that class. You got to have it. You got to incorporate it into your event. Have your sanction, have your points, have your bigger trucks and tractors. Don't get me wrong, you got to have them. But you got to have your local guys. You need to have that class. And I won't say cater to them, but you're forgetting about them. And that's a problem. I mean, I've moved on from that class. I can still take my white truck and do it if I wanted to, but I've moved on from that. Because it wasn't there.
You started at the bottom there, right?
Yeah. Real bottom.
I was going to say, I don't think you had a big hopped-up pulling truck whenever first time you pulled was.
The first time I pulled, I don't remember the year. The truck I had, it was a 74 Chevy, had a homemade wood flatbed because, of course, the bed was rotted. Half-ton four-wheel drive, wore out. I don't even know if it was a 350. Couldn't tell you. It might have been. The tires that were on the truck I was given, because I had no money as a kid, a set of 4 Firestone Firehawks it had a 203 transfer case, turbo 350 trans in it, and I went down to the fair after the tractors, pulling your tractors over the years. I'm like, well, let's do the truck pull thing. So in the pits, I took pipe, put them where the shocks went, because that's the only class they ran was that modified class. So the Firestone Firehawks, 24-inch tire? I mean, it looked like a rice rocket going down the road.
Probably old 750, 16 or something.
It was a street car tire. It actually worked on the track, though. It was amazing. The truck had no power, no nothing. Put it in low, put the transfer case in low. And like I said, 203 transfer case, mind you.
Yeah.
So your four-wheel drive, two-wheel drive, whatever, open diff. Pipes were the shocks, were the rigids, the rear suspension. Dropped the exhaust out off the headers because I had headers on it, cheap-ass Flotex or whatever at the time.
Rot out after about 2 weeks.
Yep. Yeah. And I had my James Way cherry bombs on the exhaust system, all right? When James Way was around.
Damn.
Oh, they used to have sales on them, like $6 a cherry bomb. Oh, yeah, we're game.
That's when you couldn't afford the damn Smithy.
Yeah. And I hooked the truck. It went 212 feet, and I went off to the mud bog stuff, but I've been doing it ever since. And that was the thing. It went down the track. I had fun. The other guys, I knew what they had. I'm not going to catch them, but it was just fun. Old Kenny Manners had an old modified tractor, just like back in the day. Like I said, those old, the old NTPA webpage. There's stuff. Andy Gerbach, he put stuff up there. Mike, I can't think of his last name right now. I'm having a brain fart. But he put stuff up there. The old stuff that's out there is so cool where, think about doing that. Mm-hmm. Think about a nostalgia class. Throw that in the mix.
Oh, yeah.
People will come from all over to see old shit come out of the dirt if this old stuff's still there. And it's around. It is still around. You just got to get people to fire it back up and get it out there again. So get the old stuff out there. Get your bottom of the barrel class, your budget class, your local guy, and get that stuff out there. And that's what I think it needs to go back to. It needs to go back to get away from the flare. Get away from shiny paint jobs. Get away from the loud, the obnoxious, the 7, 8, 9,000, 10,000 RPM motors, and bring it back to the roots and get your fans to relate to it to get them back into the sport. And I think that's the way it needs to go.
Well, you just got to have all the levels of it. Mm-hmm. Because you're going to have some people. That's like you go to drag strip. You go there. You want to see, something fucking getting it.
Mm-hmm.
And, you don't want to go see fart boxes out there.
Yeah.
But, at the same time on that respect, I've gone drag racing and I've had people say, oh, well, Well, help. Speaking of that, Evan Bowlesby, he was there. I went out there, took my old black truck. I think I ran a 17, 18, but I had fun. But that's how you get someone started on it.
I'm just reading what Mr. X is typing on here. F-bomb. Oh, yeah, they're doing. Yeah, we let the F-bombs fly a little
you're
bit.
Mr. X, I'm Mr. F. F for fired now.
Yeah. Yeah, and a couple of them flowed out. It was a rough night. Oh, he's going to flag me. And Andrew Gantz is on here. Oh, crap, I didn't see him join. You don't need to throw chalk. I'll find out. Hey, I fixed the problem. I think I'm good. I think I can go straight now. Oh, here we're getting in. Now the show's going to last another hour. Now we're getting all fired up. Smoke 3:30. Yeah, 3:30. What's 3:30? I don't think I've ever seen 3:30. Holy crap. Yeah, see, I got to pay attention to the Facebook thing because the Facebook stuff is where it's at because that gets you rolling. I mean, you'll be on a topic and you're going to try to touch a topic, and then all of a sudden it's like, all right, I'm going to do an hour and a half show. All right, well, you know what? We're touching on this. Then somebody throws something out. Then you start going off on something else. Oh, okay, we'll talk about that for a while. Then like 6 hours later, Facebook kicks you the hell off because, you're only allowed to run for, I think, 4 hours and you got to reset. Something of the sort. So you got to watch that, but... You keep the switch on. Yeah, we learned that. Now it's she's on from the time I back to the sled. I don't turn it off. Let it eat the battery. I don't give a crap. Gordo's drag run. Oh, when you went down to the track with a black truck.
Yeah, ladder rack, snow plowing all, and air compressor in the back of it.
It had a Gravely on for some amount of time. There was a Gravely lawnmower in it. So, that's what Evan said about smoking a tire to 330 foot. So when you start talking feet on my Facebook page, I'm not thinking drag race 330 feet, which is like a little bit down the track. When you say 330 feet to me, full pull. That's all I'm thinking.
I'll say, hell, I've been past 330 feet on the pull, but driving onto the damn track.
Yeah. Redneck. Took him 35 minutes to clean it out before you...
That's probably about right.
Overcarbureted.
It took me a lot less time than that to think about doing it. I put my drink down and said, hell, I'm going to pay that $5 and I'm going to run.
I really should have, before I sold the red truck, I wanted to do that, put your truck against mine down. It's just two old square bodies going down a track.
Oh, yeah.
I should have done it, and I never acted on it, and now it's too late, so. And I'm not buying another square body. Nah. We're going older. What is Evan saying? Took him mainly to trash.
Me or what was in the bed?
Yeah. Or is it McDonald's in the passenger floor?
The empty beer cans from that night and cigarette packs, probably.
Did anything fly out of the back?
I don't think I was going fast enough.
Yes. That's awesome.
I'll say, hell, I tell people I ran 10s. That's my 0 to 60.
Yeah. Oh, great. I'm waiting to see what comes next. It's like...
Both.
Oh, you said both. Oops, wrong one.
I was going to say, yeah, I was subcontracted to do Corons, I believe, that day.
What do we got here? What can I throw on here? I don't have anything good. I got all my old stuff. I got to get new stuff on here. Fred Loggins. All the above, probably. He knows it all too well. What do we got? What do we throw there?
Yeah, I do.
Wondering what flew. There's the question. Well, actually, the answer, if I hit my little button, would be, I guess, beer cans flew out of what bed?
This is Jeopardy!
There we go. They hear it. We can't hear it.
I'm like, yeah,
I know. You're sitting there like, what in the shit?
Yeah. I was pretty, I don't think you're supposed to have your arm hanging out the window smoking a cigarette going down the drag strip, if I'm correct.
I got one. This is perfect.
Yeah.
For you going down the drag strip.
I've fallen, and I can't get up.
If you can only hear that, everybody else can hear that. Or at least I hope they can. If everybody else can hear that one, yeah, that was a good one. I'm sure there's there should be some laughs out of that one. Well, at least I hope so.
What did he write? Blew a 454, bloody. Yeah, that's about the only shot I got at being a 454. I only scored .15 before.
I'm sorry. I'm reading over here and I'm looking at stuff. This is Gordo before he started the pool. When he put his drink down, I'm going to pay that $5.
Excuse me
Right
while
there.
I whip this out.
Oh, that's some good stuff.
Yeah, that was my foray into that other realm of motorsports.
Now we just got to get you to build a dedicated puller. It'll be all right.
Yeah.
That's what we need to do.
Well, it's cheaper sit at home and pull my pud.
So what else can we do? Now the asshole one, that's mine. That only goes to me. Angry's mine. Oh, what this night's turning into.
Budweiser.
I got to add more buttons. These things are fun. I forgot they were over here. The screen keeps going off, and I forget about them.
Hell, it's going to be a goddamn 8-hour show now.
Yeah, well. Oh, here's one for the politically correct people, which I'm not.
Hey, where are the
I
white
don't
women
need to
at?
hear that.
If you heard that one, you would be laughing your ass off. Yeah, I'm kind of running out. I don't have a lot in here. I need to get some. Yeah, that's about it. I can't use I'm not angry tonight, so I don't know what to do.
Well, that's good, right?
Yeah, Andy saying sound drops. Yeah, all the ones Andy sent me a bunch of them. I haven't even put them in yet. If I could even find them anymore, there's so much work to do on this computer. It never ends. Right now I'm trying to get the radio thing kicked in, so that's. It's not a struggle, but it's a lot.
All I'm doing is just talking. I got the easy job, I think.
Oh, I didn't even do videos tonight. I ran out of time for the videos, so I didn't get to know little. Usually I do the winter clips. I mean, Jerry put them up, winter clips on Easter Extreme, so he was good on them.
Well, hell, if you want a clip of a winner, you got me on. That's all you need. Piss on the rest.
Yeah, he said, wait till Boonesboro photos are posted. And Andrew Gantz said, it's like, you need to bring Gordo along to Bloomsburg. I don't know, because then you figure, well, he's got to work. You got to work Friday, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, Friday I'm leaving the Winchester and then going straight to Bloomsburg. So you'd have to stay with us from Friday night, Saturday. I don't know if we're staying somewhere Saturday or Sunday. I don't know. So that would be a weekend. I don't know. I don't know if that'll work. Unless we got enough beer.
That might be too far to bail my ass out.
Nah, you'll be all right. Fake news. Oh, I need that one. I know. Freaking.
Well, I said it before.
I don't know if he was on.
I said.
I don't know if he was on there then.
Okay.
Now, the Donald Trump stuff, he sent me a bunch of it. I haven't got it up there.
You need to get some more sound drops. Believe me, when I say we're going to do sound drops, we're going to have the best out there. Believe me. I like Donald Trump. I ain't a Democrat, by the way, if you need to guess.
Yeah. This is the what's the word? This is the deplorable. That's what we should name this now. Spinnin and Grinnin, coming from the deplorable studio. That might work. We might have to switch this up.
You're listening to the deplorable, desperate measures of pulling radio hour. You can listen to us live Sunday. Kid seats are still $5.
Oh, yes. That is awesome.
Grave digger.
Oh no, yeah, I don't have it set on there. Damn it. In the mixer, it's got the effects, so you put the echo on there. Oh, dude, you could. Yeah, we'll have to mess with that one day. If you keep coming on here and doing this, we could get stupid. Oh, this could get really good.
I'm pretty good at being stupid.
Well, you know me. Just keep drinking. That's all you got to do. And I'm not even drunk. That's
say
the scary
shit, and
part.
I'm drinking a Gatorade right now.
I mean, I don't know what's going on. You have Coca-Cola, Gatorade. What?
Iced tea earlier.
What? No beer. It is Wednesday. This is hump day. Drinking starts Wednesday. Actually, it started Sunday for me, but it starts Wednesday for normal people.
Well, the problem is drinking on hump day. I drink enough, I end up humping something I wish I didn't. So there you go.
You'd be laying pipe all wrong at work.
Yeah.
Austin said Utah beer sucks. All right, now that we brought this up.
Utah beer.
What
What the hell
is
do Mormons
Utah
drink?
beer. Like, yeah, I got to find out what's coming from
What do
the
they got? Seven Wives Brewery or something?
Moab Brew.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what the heck comes out of Utah. It can't be as bad as that Fat Tire. I've tried that before. That shit sucks.
Dude,
Did you ever try the pumpkin beer? Remember that pumpkin shit that was going all the rave?
Sucks.
Dude, I took one sip. I threw that sumbitch right out the window. I mean, literally out the window in the door.
I guess you're just not a basic bitch or whatever. Hashtag fidget spinner.
Wait, Evan said mash taters titties. What? What the hell is that?
You don't want to know.
3.2% alcohol beer. That's an old Duels. Holy crap. Good Lord, I don't even think I can drink that much to get drunk.
You'd have to buy a keg and drink it whole, I guess.
You might as well IV it. Just get the little drip thing and run the cart everywhere you go.
Yeah. 3 point.
Holy crap, I didn't even think they made that.
I think my goddamn piss is higher octane if I'm sober.
That's what I was thinking. Whew. Good Lord, I couldn't do that. Yes, Tony, you want to know. All right, we gotta elaborate on this. What is mashed taters and titties?
Well,
This is going to get
bad
interesting.
night.
It can't be a bad night. Not with that kind of status.
Oh, it was. Well,
Is this radio capable?
probably not.
Well, no. Technically, you know what? Let me rephrase that. Is this not internet, Facebook and YouTube capable?
I don't think so. That's not a proud moment.
Is it something you want to embark on this journey, or just
No.
we're just gonna call it good? Okay, we're just gonna delete that.
Yeah, that wasn't a proud conquest. I had a little more than 3.2% alcohol in me. We'll say that.
So everything was looking good.
Yeah, well, halfway through, to quote Hank Hill, whoa.
Was it all toilet sounds?
My head was in the toilet after that. Good God.
Was this from Lincoln, Bridgeport? Did it have anything to do with anything around them?
Oktoberfest on Salem Church Road.
I have no idea, and that's around the corner.
Good.
Nice. Oh, I love it. Yeah, I've never even heard of that.
Yeah, it was not a classy conquest. It was well, I've had a couple encounters behind sheds. So
Oh, that we know that one, the Armory.
well, this one too. Not a different shed though.
Yeah. Just so everybody knows, it's not from Elkton, Maryland. The whole town is a brothel. No, not really, but sometimes these things
Hell,
happen.
it didn't cost me nothing other than my pride.
Well, nobody knew until now. So,
Nah, she was a little over 280, Peanut. I'll put it to you this way: I had 1 3/4
when
ton.
did he join in?
He just now, I guess. I had a 3/4 ton pickup to start the night and ended up with 2.
Yes.
I like the first one I was riding better.
Yeah, I was trying to get Mr. Privet on here too. That would have been a trip. That would have been a 3 for tonight. I don't know if we can get them all in frame. Yeah, we could probably get it in frame. I think it would work. We just had a little more window involved and a little more stereo involved. Maybe an extra plug socket involved in the video. My studio's challenged.
So state of the art here. This is didn't Leonard Skinner cut an album here in this fine acoustical conditions and
Bon Jovi lives in my attic.
well, yes, you are from Jersey. Or
Joyzy.
Jay-Z.
Joyzy.
Yeah.
Oi. I got to get you oi. Joyzy. Yeah, originally. I don't know if I'd say proud, but that's what happened. What else we got on here? What else can we embark on? New DUI limit is .05 instead of .08. Wow.
0.05.
Wow.
Shit.
Really?
That's news to me.
Crazy. You got, what did he say? What was it? Let me scroll back up here. 3.2 on alcohol content. Now we're talking to. I'm going to have to make a second show and talk about alcohol here. This is great. 3.2 content on a beer. And your limit's still 0.5. You could drink all night.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
Because what are we, 2?
What?
A PA, I think, went down to like friggin' 2, didn't it?
Oh, hell, I don't know. All I know is I'm usually shooting for the high score instead of the low.
Yeah, usually it's you got to pick the right time to go home, but
Yeah. 0.05, I think I've exceeded 0.08 once. I know that on record.
See, now I got the CDL, so that puts me, whatever the limit is, I'm half of that because commercial driver's license. So,
I've been over that, too.
He's got you beat, Peanut. That's why we need Peanut here. He's got some good stories on that side of the spectrum.
Hopefully,
I mean, we are going so far away. Oh, it is 0.08 in Maryland.
It ain't too far away. I've gotten hammered at the fair before.
Yeah. Oh, that was that one night when that granddad's, or not your grandpa's root beer or whatever, when that shit hit the fan.
I didn't ever drink that. Hell.
Oh, dude, everybody had it that night. That was, what, 2 years ago?
Oh, hell, I don't know. Last time I remember, I was just drinking beer, and we drank Gem Clear, and all kinds of classy assortments, you know.
Oh, I know who we need on the show. Butternuts.
Shit.
Oh, God, that would be the end of my career.
I think he goes through as much old granddad. That's his racing fuel wear.
Dude, when you got the sippy cup in your hand with old granddad, it's pretty bad. That dude drinks that stuff out of a bottle with a straw.
I'll say, hell, wake his ass up. He's right there.
Yeah, I know. I could probably. He's probably out there. He's probably been wanting to borrow a tool because he was working on a car earlier. Dude, every day he's got to borrow something. If it ain't the scanner, yesterday was a line wrench. He's like, you don't have a 5/8 line wrench. I'm like, the hell? You're working on a Dodge pickup. What the hell has got a 5/8 on a line wrench? I don't know what kind of brakes they got on a Dodge Ram, but holy
fuel
shit.
filter, maybe.
It was brakes he was working on. 5/8 line wrench. Like, you got some serious braking on that thing.
I was going to say, shit. Has he got a 10-wheeler?
Uh-oh. Peanut gets drunk. He ends up under the bar. Oh, my God. I forgot about all that. Oh, that is hilarious. Oh, you weren't there at Cecilton that night. Oh, Lord.
I heard about that melee.
Oh, that was funny because I'm not going to put the names out there, but some of the guys that were drunk pulling that stayed there was there late were bigger boys. Well, things happen. One thing led to another, and we were messing around. Things got a little further than messing around. Well, one thing, like I said, led to another. Things happened. Well, Peanut got mad.
No.
So Peanut's running the right way for Big Boy. So he goes underneath the truck, comes out the other side of the truck. Well, Big Boy didn't realize he can't fit underneath the truck. So Peanut ended up drunk underneath the truck. Oh, my God, that was a night. Holy shit. I forgot all about that. Rougher that night or next day. I'll agree on the next day. The next day was that was a rough day. Well, heck, the last time we were at Cecilton, one of the diesel groups was down there. Like I said, I'm not going to put names out because I don't want to put it all the way out there, but no, I'm empty. But we were down there. We had a gator. Well, it was during the fair, so we're getting tuned in. So the guys in the gator are already tuned in. So the carnies are packing their stuff up. So they run over there trying to get teddy bears, made the carnies all mad, come back over. Then we hooked the gator up to the dumpster. We didn't realize how much garbage was in the dumpster because we were trying to pull the dumpster. Well, we can't truck pull, so we'll gator pull. So we hook it up to the chain. They go back to the camper, get the chain, piss the women off. That was the whole deal in itself. So we hook it up to the gator. Couldn't move the dumpster. It was just one thing led to another. It was just, oh, God, it was a night. It did. I think that's why the 2-day event stopped.
They couldn't handle one day, y'all asses.
No, it was fun. It was a blast. But I guess we ought to end. It's almost 11 o'clock. I mean, I know people are still listening and watching and doing whatever, but it's getting to that point. We've been going at this since 8 o'clock, and I didn't expect it to go this far. So, well, I should have expected to go this far. So I guess we'll call it good. And like I said, we touched the fair thing. I am not going to recoup on that. But like I said, take a look at the videos, DVDs I got in the front. Look up Eastern Extreme Pullin. Check them out. They got stuff, history, everything. I mean, really cool stuff. If you got stuff you want to watch, add it to your archives. I mean, I do every year. I keep buying and buying and buying. The Oops stuff is awesome. The history stuff's awesome. The current stuff is really awesome with his new cameras. So if you ain't got something yet from him, just get one disc to start with. I'm telling you, you're going to love it. You're going to want it. So you get that stuff in there. Before I forget, because I forgot earlier, since I'm wearing the shirt, it's hard to see because the camera's so far away tonight because I had to fit 2 people in the picture. But
I'm pretty fat.
Yeah, we got fat boy over here. Yeah, beefcake. But Donald drops. Yes, send the Donald drops. But hey, Mr. Andy Schroeder, that's the pedal to metal guy. I talk about him a lot on the show. He's the one that makes the Reese-style pulling hitches. So if you don't know nothing about it, I'm not going to emphasize on it. I'm not going to drag the show out any longer. Check him out, Pedal to Metal. It's with the number 2 and then metal. Check him out on Facebook. He's got stuff up on there. You can see the pics. Sooner or later, I'm going to enter his pics and get them saved in a computer and be able to put them on there in like a little, I wouldn't say a show, but like a little clip or something so you can see the stuff that he's making. So if you're running a Reese-style hitch, that's what he makes. He makes a Reese-style hitch. They're strong as hell. They're built. I mean, he's making a good product. So check it out. If you could build one, go ahead. But I don't know. It's for what he's got for the cost on them. Check it out. You never know. You might need it. So check that out. I don't know what else. You got Walter Smith, like I said, with Custom Metals Welding and Fabrication over there. Does the hand throttles. I mean, he does a lot of stuff. I'm probably going to have him make me a set of headers this winter if I can afford them. Need something a little fancier, a little bit different. Things are going to change in the truck. So for metal work, the dude is phenomenal. I mean, absolutely. It's what he does for a living. He's very good at stuff of that nature. I mean, he's got the stuff to cut the stuff out. Check him out for the hand throttles, things of that nature. He makes tons of them. He sends out loads of them. So his stuff ain't junk. So check out both of them. Mr. Andy Schroeder with Pedal to Metal. Check out Walter Smith. Check out Jerry Richardson with the Eastern Extreme Pullin. That little thingy's up here somewhere. Boom, there it is. And of course, leave that there for 1 second. And of course, you always want to check out these guys for all of our pulling because they're what you got for PPL in the area. That's the Pro Pulling League part of it, East Coast Pullers LLC. They got all their high horsepower classes. Like I said, you're not going to get your brush pull stuff, but it's going to be your higher horsepower stuff. That's what they do, and that's what they're good at doing. So check them out. It's always a blast, fun, always a great event. I can't say enough about it. I mean, not just because I'm part of it. I'm a little guy in the class, but there's no BS. It's just straight pulling, and that's what we need. So I guess we covered enough. I don't know. What else? I guess everybody stopped commenting. I'm surprised I still got 6 viewers at 10:52 p.m. I have to change my date and my time to like 10 o'clock. I seem to be hitting off at 10 o'clock.
I'm surprised anybody's watching this shit.
Don't believe me. Yeah, believe me too. I know. Usually I got like 3 and they drop off. Usually by the end of the show, it just turns into 1. Pocomoke, no. Pocomoke does not have the 4-wheel drive class. I forget what's all down there. I know the mod tractors I know run down there, but not us. I think I'm actually off next week. The wife I got the schedule on the refrigerator. She knows it better than I do. So I think I got a week break, and I don't even know where I'm going after that yet. I like the surprise factor of that. So, yep, there it is. No mod at 4x4 at Pocomoke, which I'm not sure if I'd want to travel down there or not. I've never been to Pocomoke, so I don't know if it's worth a crap or not. So, that's right. Diesel 4x4 will be down there. That's right.
They'll drain the oil out of the truck, make it sound like a diesel, right?
Yeah. No. We're not doing that. Let me see if I can find my stuff here. There we are again. We're going to get them up here. I found it. I love this thing. Oh, dude, I don't even know how to work half of this shit yet.
I don't know, nothing.
Oh, it's fun. It's a blast. But yeah, I guess we'll call it good on that. We won't bore anybody, keep anybody up. Yep, 2-wheel drive. Oh, that's right. The 2-wheel drives are coming out. Ooh, that's going to be their first run, I think, this year. First run in the points. Oh, I'm going to have to get that hot farm. That's going to be a good class. We need to run down there then. I don't know why they don't. Yeah, it figures. Pocomoke's awesome, and we're not going to be there. God damn it!
God damn it, Bobby.
Whacking off of my tool shed. Oh, that's a different one.
That's same dude. That's
Same dude. Yep. But anyhow,
I want to see something really cool.
Oh, God, here we go. No, wait. Before we close it, you know what you need to do.
What's that?
Tree fitty.
Well, what do you want me to do on it?
The usual one. The Girl Scout one.
Oh.
Yeah. We're gonna close with that because it's funny as hell. If anybody watches South Park.
Well, I heard this knock on the door one day, you see, and there's a cute little Girl Scout down there, and she said she got some Girl Scout cookies for sale. I said, what do you got there, Girl Scout? She said, I got graham crunchy mints, some Owens thins. I said, well, how much you have to have for a box? I need about $3.50. $3.50. About that time, I realized that little Girl Scout was about 7 feet tall and a crustacean and a paralytic. I said, damn you, Loch Ness Monster. You ain't getting my money. How about $2.50? Oh, what's that, a sale on Loch Ness Munchies or something? I give him $1. Well, you give him $1, well, no wonder you keep coming. I thought you going to kick your ass. Shut up, woman.
The best part is Loch Ness Munchies.
What, you got Loch Ness Munchies or something?
$2.50? What do you got, Loch Ness Munchies?
What, a sale on Loch Ness Munchies or something?
Holy shit.
Let me tell the story.
That's the best. It never gets old. I don't care how many years goes by. It never gets old. So, oh well. I guess we'll close it out. Let me see if I can figure out how I'm going to close this. I got too many buttons to freaking play with here. Gotta make sure that's ready. Gotta get this ready. If anybody knows the crap I gotta deal with, I need somebody to do this shit for me so I don't have to worry about it. Yeah, we'll get that ready, but well, it's been fun. It's been an interesting topic. Went to this, to this, to this, to this. So we've covered about everything local I can think of. Except bitching.
Yeah, well, you ain't got enough time for that.
No, we might as well just, if we start bitching, we're just going to go to work.
It'd be like goddamn Jerry Lewis telethon last couple days.
Shit's going to be Jerry Springer action up in here. Get him, Steve. So, oh well. Well, we'll call it good. We'll flip this little sucker over there as soon as I hit the button. But until next time, we will call it happy pulling, happy building, and hook safe from Spinnin and Grinnin. See ya.